All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you are new here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today and waiting patiently, as always, for the intro to finish up. I hope everybody's doing well today. Let's see. Got Tarnished, Dillo, Lady Gamer, D Sparks, Roadkill. Oh no, we got Josh Nuggets here. He says, guess what? I'm no longer a member. You're welcome, guys. Normal Josh Nuggets is back. We need to get this man a membership. Yeah, Tarnish still doesn't have one either. I got a couple super chats from New Soul 9. New Soul, bro, thank you so much for that, man. He dropped, I think, $25 in super chats before I even went live. So we'll talk about that. We'll go over what he's saying here. And, yeah, we're going to be talking about, you know, once again, the PlayStation 6 pricing. PlayStation 6 pricing. We have... people are losing their minds. I'm new here. What do? You hit that like button. You drop some support. You sit back and enjoy. Or you could just sit back and enjoy. Whatever you want to do, Michael. It's all you. Whiskey, what's up, man? Yeah, I was a little unsure of whether or not I was going to stream today because I feel like the PS6 topic is it's running its course now, you know. It's running its course now, but at the same time, like, it's a Sunday, and I'm like, well, I got to do the Sunday stream. But we do have a little bit of new information, a little bit of new insight, I should say, that I think some people are going to have opinions on, you know. And we have Joshua Reese. He comes in. He renews his membership today. Joshua Reese says it is time. It is time to renew. Thank you for that, buddy. I will add that to the counter. Let me get these settings out of the way here. There we go. So Josh kicks it off by renewing his membership. Titus, what's going on, man? Michael, what's up? He says, hey, buddy. Thought he was talking. He's talking to Boss. Boss says, yo, what's up? What about that P6? Is that how you talk, Boss? How much is that PS6 going to be? I ain't paying no $1,000. All right? Do you understand? Do you understand me? Hellbound, what's up, man? Boss is like, what the the shit I have to put up with just to get some treats, man. MBG, I told you the PS6 price will be crazy high, and he kept telling me it's not going to be. We don't know. I'm right, you're wrong. Hey, we don't know that, Tarnished. We don't know that. Boss is amused. I'll have to dip out for a few minutes at 12:30 to get the plaque out of the clamps. Damn. Whiskey's teasing it. He's teasing the plaque. He has a deep New York accent. Well, let me see here. We have two super chats from New Soul 9. And he says, MBG, them canceling this as an Xbox ad doesn't mean anything when their actions/behavior reflect the commercial. This is the same as Microsoft verbally saying they're not going to increase the price of Xbox Live Gold, but look at their actions. You find out they still technically did, just in a different form, so people won't notice. I agree. I do agree with that, New Soul 9. And yeah, I mean, you know, the whole this is an Xbox ad, the whole point of that ad, you know, is to just, it's for Microsoft to convey, like, we are taking a completely different direction with the Xbox brand, and Xbox is no longer just a console, right? We want you to look at all of your devices as a potential Xbox. And it actually did make sense in terms of like, well, yeah, if that's what you guys are doing, the ad kind of makes sense. I think a lot of people felt as though it was a little bit over the top and ridiculous, though, with the way they tried to convey it, where I think people felt like it's like they're aggressively telling you like Xbox is not an Xbox, but your phone is, you know. It just I think felt weird to some people. But I think the real reason they're retiring it, New Soul, is because they're going to try to sell a new box. Like, I think it's just that simple. It's like, hey man, we got a box and it's gonna have an X on it. And we're gonna try to sell it. So we should probably stop telling people. We should probably stop telling people that, you know, your phone is an Xbox. But New Soul, bro, yeah, you're absolutely right, man. We got to be careful with these companies and the way that they word these things. You know, you can only take things at face value so much until you know. Do we think Sony really is going to raise the monthly / yearly price of PSN? Do I stack years now? I'm ready at 2030, or I'm already at the I'm already at the 2230 expire date. Goddamn, Michael, I think you're good, bro. Michael, I think you're good, man. 2230. I don't think you're gonna live to that year, but no, I think you're good. I don't know, dude. I don't know. There are rumblings. There are rumblings, you know. And B Minor 25 with a $2 chat says Sony canceled the EV cars. They sure did. Oh, you thought they were just canceling games? You thought they were just shutting down studios? No, they canceled the PlayStation car, bro. That's how serious this is. Oh, you meant 2030. You meant 2030. My bad, Michael. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I want to say that the chances of them increasing the price of PlayStation Plus is relatively high. But I don't know that I would recommend panic buying per se, only because it might not, you know? I mean, they just increased the price of the consoles. They would look insane. Like they would really look insane if they're like, now we're going to increase the price of PS Plus. But at the same time, it's like it just, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's a coin flip on this one. Please stop licking my monitor. Boss, stop licking my monitor. Stop that. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? All right, hold on. Boss, please stop licking my monitor. Like, I know you guys can't see him. This cat, there's something wrong with him. I gotta keep an eye on him. No, stop that. Stop. Come on. You go, boss. Boss wants to interact with the chat. I mean, yeah, he's basically like licking the chat. Freaking weirdo. Yeah, go wait over there. Go ahead, go pose. Let me see. People are looking crazy with all their dumb theories. Dude, here's my favorite one. You ready? Here's my favorite one. All right. Listen. Good faith. It's in good faith. No, I actually didn't really get a chance to talk about it too much, Web5 Gamer. We probably still will. Go ahead. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now we've evolved. Now he has appetizers. So anyway, here's my favorite thing. You ready? Let me bring it up. I'm asking if you're ready. I'm not ready. All right, so we have, where is he? We have Kepler L2. Kepler L2 is a hardware leaker. He's a pretty well-known hardware leaker. Somebody says, if there isn't a RAM price collapse, do you have a guess how much the PS6 will cost in 2027? Before, I was thinking $699, but I don't even know if that's possible without Sony losing too much money on each console. Kepler L2 responds by saying, my current BOM, or, bill of materials, basically how much it will cost to produce the PlayStation 6 and to manufacture it. He says, my current BOM estimate for the PS6 is $760. So I would say that $699 is still possible with a reasonable subsidy. The question is if Sony will even bother now that Xbox is not direct competition anymore. This is what Kepler L2 had to say, and a lot of people are picking up on this. And I posted this. I said, hardware leaker Kepler L2 reveals the current cost to manufacture the PS6 is $760. He says Sony could aim for a $700 price point if they are willing to subsidize it, but is unsure if they will due to Xbox not being a direct competitor anymore. Bro, one of the top replies on my post is, you guys wanted Xbox dead. Enjoy, LOL. You hear that? You hear that? You're bomb. I don't say the damn. Cringe. Whiskey Gaming, he's cringing. Whiskey Gaming's like, it's bomb, bro. It's bomb. I can't say that word. I just said the word. I can't say that word on my channel. But so you hear that, guys? It's even lower IQ than I thought. We did it. We wanted the Xbox dead, so we killed it. We killed Xbox. That's right. Me and you, we all did it together. Now we have to enjoy. Now we have to reap what we've sown, which is obviously Sony saying, F you, we're not subsidizing shit. Give us all your money. But wait, hold on. I'm confused. Anytime we say Xbox is dead, people come at me and they're like, what do you mean Xbox is dead? Xbox dead? Like, no, what about all the times I said it's not? What about all the times I said, Microsoft, you got to do a better job at selling your console, bro? I guess doesn't matter. We wanted Xbox dead. I swear, dude, these people, they are so fucking stupid. Like, they're so stupid, it's painful. It physically hurts sometimes. I'm in pain. I'm actually in pain having to deal with this. But I did respond and I said, Xbox died in 2013, and looking back, it seems the Microsoft's board was the one who wanted it dead. This guy says, damn, it's dead for 13 years, but it still lives rent-free in your head after all this time. He got me. It's living rent-free in my head, bro. It couldn't be that Microsoft is trying to sell me their games and telling me, well, they were telling me everything was an Xbox. It's just living rent-free in my head. That's crazy. Dude, I'm telling you, people are losing it out here. People are losing it. Anyway. $700 PS6? What are we thinking? Xbox. Xbox. That's what people are saying. Xbox. I wouldn't, if I were Sony, drive the price up, ask customers for more, and if sales decline, say I messed up, and Sony will drop it where it should be. Well, I put out another post where, I got to be honest with you guys, and I know that many of you have seen this as well. This entire generation, since 2020, I feel like there's been like 100 instances where it's like, yeah, Sony's in trouble, man. It's all downhill from here. It's done. It's cooked. It's toast. It's over. And I'm just being honest when I say, like, I've always been like, maybe. I don't know, though, but maybe. And everything that has happened, what is the end result? The end result is they're doing just fine. They're still selling consoles. They're still making games, They're still doing great. People are still playing on PlayStation. Tens of millions. And that's not to say that makes everything okay. It doesn't. But it's like, So all of the flack that I've encountered of people trying to telegraph the doom and the gloom, you know, I guess this is just an instance where, with Sony raising the prices like this, people are now, they're truly convinced. They're like, this is it. This is where you're going to see PlayStation console sales nosedive and fall off of a cliff. And people are going to walk away. People are going to leave. Yeah, and exactly. Meanwhile, they're actually going to hit 100 million by April 2nd. No, but I mean, I'm like really curious where it's like, has anybody just considered? Wait for it. Has anybody just considered that nothing's actually going to happen? Rich Rod says, update. The little ish took my sticky trap with him into the basement. Electric trap has been deployed. Little shit in my basement. Fuck around, find out, little fella. Damn, this... Is it a rat or a mouse? Whatever it is, it's keeping him up at night. It's like Tom and Jerry up in here with Rich Rod. He's got that Tom and Jerry energy. Damn, dude. Well, good luck, Rich. Be careful. Like I said, don't hurt yourself. I'm not liking where this is going. I'm a little concerned. Total cost of PS6 would be between $850 and $950. How much they subsidize is up to them. Well, I love how it's like, I love this idea that like, well, Xbox isn't going to be there to compete. Thanks a lot, Sony. Like, I'm sorry, how is that Sony's fault? Or their fans, for that matter. Like, dude, I'm telling you, this is the energy that I encounter, where it's like, it's Xbox players that failed Microsoft, okay? No, other way around. It's Microsoft that failed Xbox players. And now they're going to try to like place it on Sony and the fan base, where it's like, whatever, man. This is why I try to tell people, like, let's just see what happens. Let the market speak. Let the market speak. If the market is unwilling, if they're unwilling to pay the price that Sony's asking for, then they will express that, even whether Xbox is involved or not. Buttery Cheeks with a $5 chat. You're saying, I just found your channel a couple of weeks ago, and I really enjoy your grounded/nuanced gaming opinions. Keep up the buttery content. Well, thank you for that. I do appreciate that, Buttery Cheeks. Let me tell you, I do appreciate that, because you know what? I'm tired of being reasonable. I'm tired of being grounded. I'm tired of being nuanced. And sometimes I just start to feel that Rich Rod energy, like I just want to go off on these people, bro. I'm tired of it. I've had enough. But I do appreciate that, Buttery Cheeks. I'm glad that some of you here can appreciate what I'm trying to do. Thank you. I got to be careful, though. I don't want Rich Rod to get too excited. The mice are performing a pincer move on Rich. Yeah. He's getting outnumbered, outmaneuvered. You're thinking of getting a British short hair cat now. See, that's what happens. You get one mice or one mouse in your house. Maybe an infestation of mice. You got to bring in the cats. It just feels like it's always Xbox's fault. Well, that's the thing, though, is it's in terms of, I'll put it to you this way, in terms of why is Xbox a non-competitor now? Like, whose fault is that? That is literally their fault. Like, that is literally their fault. I do agree that maybe sometimes people exaggerate a bit and make things sound like a lot worse than they actually are, or are hyperbolic. But in this case, it's like, yeah, man, and I get it. It's like, I guess it is the price to be paid, where if Sony's going to be the only console manufacturer that is actually still trying to, I guess, make the console the center of their business model, traditionally there is supposed to be another main competitor. And I don't think Switch 2 is going to be that. We have to see what happens with the PlayStation Handheld. We have to see what happens with that first, because for all we know, Sony might be making a much bigger play for that handheld than we realize. And because of that, the competition between Sony and Nintendo is going to heat up substantially. But if we assume that's not the case and that's not what's going to happen, then yeah, there really is no direct competitor to the PlayStation 6. I'm not sure how many people are going to decide they want to switch to instead of a PS6, or maybe a better way to word that is I don't know how many people are going to be sitting there being like, PS6, Switch 2, PS6, Switch 2. I don't think that's going to happen in the same way that we've seen many years prior, where it's like PS4, Xbox One, PS3, Xbox 360, PS2, Xbox. So it's not about like, it's not about like trying to blame Xbox for anything. It's the other side of it. It's the gaslighting that, dude, I just can't take it anymore. Like, I really can't take it anymore. Where it's like, why am I seeing people talk to PlayStation players like this is your fault? It's not. It's not at all. Like, the market does have a tolerance level and a threshold. It just hasn't been hit yet. And I don't blame anybody for looking at what's happening with the PlayStation 6 and assuming maybe this is where it's going to hit that threshold. It absolutely could. But I don't know, man. I also just find myself a little bit frustrated because it does just kind of get to a point where, like, so when I look in the direction of like certain PC gamers, apparently Titus is having some technical difficulties with the chat. When I look in the direction of some PC gamers, it's like some of them, they really do just kind of have this mentality of like, you're just straight up wrong. Just wrong if you buy a console or you partake in console gaming. And those people are fucking idiotic. Like, true, like they have no idea how idiotic they actually sound. Where it's like, dude, again, I will pose this question. If you are gaming on PC and PC is the place to go and it's superior in every way, why are you even paying attention to anything Sony PlayStation is doing? To any capacity? Why are you even looking in the direction of console players? Now, don't get me wrong. If you're talking about I'm encountering console players who are trying to flex on PC and they're trying to bash PC over the head with the PS5 Pro, that's fine. I'm not talking about that. That's isolated and that actually makes complete sense. But I see a lot more that like expands beyond that specific threshold. That's like, I don't know. All right. I'm going off the rails again. Nothing new there. Nintendo and PC always get pushed to the side, and it's only Xbox is the competition to Sony. Well, I do think that in the coming years, especially if Steam launches on Project Helix or is, available on Project Helix, I think Steam is going to become something that Sony really does have to contend with much further. And the fact that they're pulling away from PC releases, I think maybe indicates that, yeah, there could be some potential, like real potential competition there. It is a little bit tough though, because, the way that Sony seemingly has viewed PC all of this time is not as some kind of threat, but as we have clearly seen, is just a kind of means to make a little bit of extra money. And then, when that money isn't as, the numbers aren't what they expected it to be, it's not as much as they thought, they kind of just seemingly shun it. They don't really I don't know if like Hideaki Nishino, this current CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, I don't know how he views PC. Like he might view Steam and PC as like, yeah, they're absolutely a threat, and we need to be very careful of that. Or maybe he doesn't even care, and he's just focused. Maybe he is just focused on Nintendo. But yeah, I do think I do think the days of like, PlayStation versus Xbox, and like, are we about to see a Project Helix versus PlayStation 6 showdown? No, I don't think so. But what's sad is you will see people celebrating Project Helix. You will see people celebrating Project Helix while simultaneously shitting on the PlayStation 6. And that to me is comical. That's going to happen. That's like you already kind of see that. It's like it's okay for Project Helix to be $1,000, but it's a major problem if the PS6 is $700 or $800. And I'm like, what? I've seen that. I've seen that so much. And that's where I'm like, something is disconnected here. Something isn't adding up. Why is one okay, but the other isn't? Did I see Zubitech crash out on PCMR? No, I didn't see that. Was it bad? I mean, I guess it must have been pretty bad if you're mentioning it. No one will cherish the Project Helix. No, there will be those who cherish it, believe me. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, everybody just seems like they're kind of trying to fight for like, this is better, this platform's better, this business model is better, this is the best. But it's like, dude, it always comes back down to what I bring it to, and that is like, let the market speak. The market is speaking louder than you. And the market is saying like both are fine and people will choose what they prefer. And I'm just, what I'm honestly anticipating, and I'm serious when I say this, because I've been following PlayStation this entire generation, even prior to the generation starting. I've been following it closer than pretty much 99% of people, and do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if after these price increases go into effect, people are still buying PlayStations and they're still selling. That's not me saying celebrate it. That's not me saying be happy about it. That's just me saying don't be surprised if it's like, actually, yeah, this is like they can do this. And I get it. It's like, well, everybody, people are stupid and they should stop supporting it. And it's like, I don't know, man. People's money, it's their money. They can do what they want with it. If people want to buy a console for $600 or $650, they're free to do that. And that's where it starts to look like, to a degree, where people start to get, they start to reveal their hand a little bit, where it's like, if the market is speaking and the market is saying they're still okay with PlayStation, like, why are you so mad? And the truth is, it's the only thing that's left is because they care. And that to me is the kind of revealing factor in all of this, is that, there's basically two types of people here. There's people that actually really care and they're trying to express that and trying to tell people, they're trying to like warn people, or there's people that actually don't really care and they're just projecting it out there as if they do because, well, it's what gets the attention these days. John McConsole Jr. is saying one's a console, the other's a PC will be their reason. Yeah, but to me, but you're right about that, John. You're right. That will be their reason. But it's like, okay, then explain to me why other people are explaining to me that Xbox themselves in their post is saying console. You see what I mean? It's like it seems like people just kind of picking and choosing when it's convenient for them for the sake of their argument. If Sony sees no hit to console sales over the next few months, we're fucked for next gen. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing, Sparky, is like, do keep in mind that if that happens, then you, like, those who feel that way, like, oh, we're fucked, those are the people you're going to have to make a choice. And all I can tell those people is that, like, if the outcome ultimately is Sony's still about to pass 100 million sold or reach 110 million potentially, even with these price increases, if that's what we end up seeing, you're left in this position where it's like, well, you can express your frustration to Sony, and the best way to do that is don't give them any more of your money, but you are probably going they're probably not going to listen because they're going to be too busy listening to the fact that, not even listening, but like reading their data, and it's like, oh, this is still, like, we're still doing fine. It won't be, listen, it won't be until PlayStation sales collapse. Until that happens, Sony's not going to do anything other than what they've been doing. And that's what I'm trying to tell people, is that, like, this entire generation, people have been telling me Sony's going to do this and Sony's going to do that, and they are doing this and they are doing that, and you know, them putting their games on PC is like one of the greatest examples of people were like, dude, it's over for their console. And I'm like, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. And then, like, multiple years goes by and Sony comes out and says, like, we're still selling the exact same amount. It's almost like it didn't even matter, which, you know, again, begs the question, well, why are they even stopping? That has more to do with a lack of sales than anything. And there's exactly that too. You know, you don't have to buy the PlayStation 6. If people are worried that the PlayStation 6 is going to price them out, I mean, if you're priced out, you're priced out. But if you feel angered by it or frustrated and you feel like it's corporate greed and whatnot, then you have to just do what you got to do. And that is, you got to not give Sony any more of your money. Like, I'll put it to you this way. If anybody who thinks that staying on PS5 is going to be an effective way to send a message to Sony, that's not going to work. If you want to send a message to Sony, you have to literally, like, cut them off. And my question is, how many people are willing to do that? The truth is, the vast majority probably aren't, because they're actually perfectly fine where they are. They do like an aspect of PlayStation. John McConsole, you're saying, been saying since last year the PS6 will likely be $800 or $799 for marketing. LOL. Sony has no competition. PC and Nintendo do their own things. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Kepler L2 is saying Sony might be able to pull off 700. And that would be, I would say, probably the best outcome, realistically, unless something drastic changes, which could happen. 700, it's still steep, but I could maybe see Sony making that work. I don't know that it would work super smoothly, but I think that would be maybe the best we could hope for. But according to Kepler L2, if Sony were to target $700, they would still have to subsidize it to a degree. Why do you default from that stance, MBG? Discretionary purchases are very sensitive to price change historically. I mean, I guess I default to that, Titus, because I feel like the PlayStation brand is too strong. Like, truthfully, that's what it boils down to. Is I've been trying to tell people, like, all generation. This is like, listen, this is why when I hear people shit talk PlayStation, like their ecosystem, I'm like, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. Like, literally, you don't know what you're talking about. And it frustrates me, because it's like, people are here because they enjoy it. Like, it actually is pretty good. It does. I'm not saying it's perfect, but that's why I've struggled this whole generation, where it's like, people are not just spending money on this shit for the sake of spending money on it. They're spending money on it because they like it. And that's the part that so many people that I encounter cannot wrap their head around. And it's why I default to, most of the time, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll be just fine. Because I'm here on the ground level, you know what I mean? And I'm engaged with people who are also engaged with this. And I'm also paying attention to the data. And it's like it all comes to the same conclusion here, which is while it's not perfect, people really do like it. And I get that it's like, maybe it's this idea that, oh, well, it's because they're alone. It's because they're alone, right? Like John McConsell just said. They don't have competition through Xbox. Nintendo isn't considered competition. And so it's like, it's not what it basically tries to make it sound like is it's not that people are happy, it's that they're held captive. And I'm like, nonsense. That's total and utter nonsense. It is because it's like, bro, Xbox doesn't need to be direct competition to be an alternative. And guess what? Xbox is an alternative. It's been an alternative this entire generation. It's an alternative literally right now. It's going to be an alternative with Project Helix. Same thing with PC. And I get that this is why PC gamers, sometimes they push so aggressively because they're like, wake up. Come, John McStadia. Oh, man. Yeah, John McStadia next. They're like, wake up. Come to PC. You'll see how much better it is. And I had this conversation on one of my recent streams with somebody where, it's like, somebody's like, oh, I've been a PlayStation player my whole life and I went to PC and it was like eye-opening. And I'm like, sure, yeah, and maybe that will continue to happen, but there's just a reality here that there are people who like not just console gaming. They like PlayStation and they like what PlayStation is doing and they're happy with what PlayStation is doing. And it's not, I know people try to make it sound like it's just a small group of radical fanboys. That is not the case. Not even close. That's why you won't see any of the people, that's why you won't see any of the biggest detractors from PlayStation actually pull out the data. They won't do it because when they do, it will make them look stupid. Where it's like, this is so bad that look at this. And it's like, what are you showing me? It actually is looking good. It's actually going well. That's how bad it is. And I'm like, I get it. People and the people who are anti-Sony and whatnot, they're going to be like, Sony's just going to keep pushing until they finally break. And I'm like, then let them. Let's see. Let them then. Because if they do push to that breaking point, that will only result in something good, which is going back, getting scared, being like, oh, okay. Turns out we are our own worst enemy. We are our competition, But I don't know, man. I just think I think they're being totally disingenuous when they make it sound like, oh yeah, like tens of millions of PlayStation players, they're being held captive. Like, I understand there's digital libraries. John McConsell is saying a lot are stuck on PlayStation like me, ton of digital games. But that's the thing, dude, is like, you can still, I'll give you an example. Like, I think I believe Marathon's like the most recent example. Like, Marathon's a recent example of a multiplayer game. And I think more and more multiplayer games are doing this. I think most of the live service games do this, where it's like, you can literally take all of your shit with you. And I get it. Like, if you have a massive digital library, dude, this is why, man. This is why I've always tried to encourage people, like, if you bought your games physically, you would still technically be stuck on PlayStation, but not in the same way. It's like, okay, I'll just kind of like keep this machine and these discs to play them when I want. But realistically, it's like, if I want to start building like a permanent library digitally, you're free to do that. That's why I've always encouraged physical, people to continue to support physical games. But at the same time, like, I just think that chances are, if there's a game that you're stuck to, it's like, this game is holding me captive, or like, I'm held captive because I want to keep playing this game, and this game, I bought it digitally, or I downloaded it digitally on PlayStation. Chances are it's a live service game, and chances are it probably has cross progression and everything else. Like, you can, it's tethered to the account itself, the actual like game account that can be shared across any device. And I'm not saying it's like that in every instance, but I just think that people are looking for excuses. I'm going to be honest. I think people are looking for excuses to, I'm going to, just put out to just flat out shit on Sony, man, and people who are like not up in arms all the time. You know, and I say this as somebody where I've been watching this shit the entire generation, and it's just it's so exhausting. It really is. Where I'm not telling people like you need to like Sony and you need to be okay with this and you need to be a. It's like that's the thing. People react to me like you're a fucking corporate shill, you're a bootlicker. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like I'm a person who enjoys a fucking brand and what they're offering. Just like tens of millions of people, nearly 100 million people. I guess they're all fucking bootlickers. That's what starts to really frustrate me, where it's like people are trying to muddy the water and they're doing so successfully, where it's like, oh, you think you can have a conversation about price increases for a console whose prices definitely shouldn't be going up in a reasonable and nuanced manner. No, 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 no. Anything you say, if it's not outrage, if it's not losing your mind, if it's not losing your shit at all times, you're shilling. It's Sony ponies shilling and fucking defending. And it's like, dude, people like myself and many others wouldn't feel the need to get this way if we weren't bombarded with people trying to just literally make it sound like unless you sell your PlayStation and quit gaming on PlayStation to go to PC, then that's exactly what you'll be. That's what pisses me off, because it's like that's extremist mentality, that's extremist behavior. And if anything, it reveals that these are the people who are the most radicalized, that they can't even see that there's more to it than that. There always has been, there always will be. Anyway, Schmidt GT, you're saying my guess is $7.99 with a slight profit at the beginning. And if the gen goes decent, reduce to $6.99 to give it a boost later when they can afford it. Well, I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, even as somebody, even with everything I just said, I want to make it clear, like, I'm not convinced. I'm not. Like, I'm throwing it out there and I'm saying it's a possibility. Absolutely, it's possible. But I'm not convinced that if Sony comes out with an $800 PS6, it's going to do well. I think that will be a fuck around find out for Sony. And you know, people like, yeah, I will buy it. And I don't, you know, that'll be a situation where it's like people can shit on me all they want for buying it. I know exactly why I'll be buying it. And many of you, who, you know, on the channel will probably buy it as well. And you know exactly why you will. But it's like if we find out that the hardcore are really the only ones buying it, everybody else is like, no. Then that will be the fuck around find out moment for Sony, where it's like, well, there you go, Sony. You found your threshold and you crossed it. Time to bring it back. You know, but I don't, you know, I just, again, man, if somebody wants to spend, like, how is it that I can turn to people on my own fucking channel, on Twitter, anybody I encounter that wants to make a case for Project Helix, and I say, that's cool, man. If that gets you excited and you're excited for that thing, you should buy it. And I hope it makes you happy. Enjoy it. But when somebody like me says, yeah, you know, even if the PlayStation 6 is expensive, I'll buy it, you know, because I want to experience the next gen. That's a fucking problem. This is the double standard and the gaslighting that I'm subject to constantly, where it's like, I know other people are seeing it too, you know, and I know other people are feeling it, where it's like, just let people be excited for what they want to be excited about. I'm literally dealing with people coming at me and being like, the Steam machine is going to be so much superior to the PS6, even though it's probably going to be the price exactly the fucking same. And it's like, why is that? It's like, because PC's better. It's like, again, why the fuck are you talking to me about that? Why are you bringing that to PlayStation players who are excited to play on PlayStation? We all know why. We all know why. We know why. It's not a mystery. John McConsor saying, hypothetically, you'd abandon your trophies and account. I mean, look, man, I've done it before. I did it with Xbox. Trust me, when I was playing on Xbox, I was trying to get 100% for achievements. I had a digital library, not a massive one, but I still have digital games tethered to that account, you know? And I knew, like, dude, if you go, you're leaving all that behind. And that's where I'm like, if I believe I'm going towards something truly better, like, that's the thing. If it feels like it's truly better, like substantially, to a point where I'm like, I want to do it, it'll be worth it. They like, I don't know. Again, I just feel like you could make damn near the same argument for Steam, where it's like, would you ever leave Steam? You know, would you ever leave Steam if you're enjoying it? No, no, you wouldn't. And that's the thing. It's like Steam players can say what they want, but like if the day ever comes where Valve makes some changes, which I don't think they will, but if the day ever came where they make some changes where things are like, oh, we're actually changing this a little bit or we're changing that, and people are like, whoa, I don't know about that, they're gonna stay because you could make the exact same argument where it's like, what about your digital library? What about your Steam achievements? What about everything you built here? If that day ever were to come, you know? And I'm just trying to point out that you. Okay, my cats are battling. I'm just trying to point out that you will encounter people who are like, dude, I'm on Steam because I fucking love it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I buy the Steam Deck. I'm going to buy the Steam machine. I fucking love Steam. What I'm highlighting is there are people engaged with the Steam ecosystem, not because it's the best deal for them, not because they feel like it's. I want to say like, I mean, of course they think it's superior, but they're not driven by a mentality other than this is my favorite place, and I want to be involved with all of it and everything. You could maybe call them Steam fanboys, but they exist, man. And that's the thing, is it's like, that's okay. Like, it just so happens that, yes, Steam does a lot of things very well and very right that people respect and people admire. But make no mistake, man, just like you see with Xbox right now, like there are people, the people that are still supporting Xbox, like the ones that are, I mean, really like, it's all Xbox, dude. Like the ones who are celebrating, like CEO Asha Sharma and Project Helix being $1,000, like those are the people that they were only ever here because they loved everything. Like they literally loved everything about it. Everything. Even the stuff that people considered bad. They loved it. And I'm just trying to highlight that, like, there isn't anything wrong with that. Like, there just isn't. This is, like, if anything, this is just what I've been pushing back against for the longest time, where it's like, what's wrong with that? I'm serious. Like, what is the problem here? Somebody might try to make the argument where it's like, well, that's, you know, that's sending a bad signal to the corporations. Like, but if it's only a small niche group of people, what's the problem? I'll tell you what the real problem is. The only problem across all of it, across Xbox, across PlayStation, across Steam, across Nintendo, the only problem with all of it is that those groups of people, myself, and like I'm part of this because I consider myself, you know, really enthusiastic. There's basically a divide in half between those two people. It's already a niche group. But the divide in half is you get people that can't just fucking enjoy what it is that they supposedly enjoy so much without it being at the expense of something else. The other half are doing just that, just enjoying it. Not trying to, you know, they're not trying to go out there and tell somebody like, hey man, what you're doing is so inferior that I just feel the need to stop what I was supposedly enjoying to let you know how inferior your experience is. And that's I don't know, that's what it all comes down to, man. And that's what I just constantly find myself getting frustrated with, because I know, I mean, it's not going to change. It's not going to change. It's never going to change. And maybe I'm the fool here for even acknowledging something that's just never going to change. But it does just get to a point where it's like people just need to shut the fuck up. Like and maybe me included, but certainly them, where it's like, shut your mouth. Like really just stop it. Like you are making everything worse for not just the people around you, but even beyond you. But that's the problem, is that's the point. That's the point. That's what they're looking to achieve. That's all they're looking to achieve. And so once you see that, you realize it's never actually been about enjoying any of this or being passionate about any of it. It's never been about that. John McConsor saying, that's what I'm saying. People won't leave where they've built their libraries. The digital age consoles decided who stayed where on each platform. The Xbones shit the bed. I mean, Phil Spencer admitted that himself, and he's not entirely wrong. Like, I think he went on record saying, like, we lost the worst gen there was to lose, the digital one. And I'm like, yeah, if there was a gen to definitely try to stay in the race and not get, your shit kicked in, that was the gen. That's why I said to myself, like, yeah, it seems like Xbox practically died in 2013 because they never really fully recovered from that. But, this is why I went on record saying, like, dude, didn't you spend 2020 telling Xbox players why PlayStation is better? Listen, I got defensive in 2020. I won't deny that. I absolutely got defensive. But here's why, though. And here's the beauty of it, John McConsell. The beauty of it is I got defensive because I thought, like, dude, Xbox is actually a gen. Like, holy shit, they are really stepping it up. Like I'm like looking at PlayStation players like, I don't know, man. They got 12 T-flops. They got Hellblade 2. It's looking enticing. It's looking kind of enticing. And they're telling me there's going to be a 30% delta. And I'm like, nah, man, Sony's going to bring it. Sony's going to bring it. And then, a couple years, like 2 years went by and we're like, okay. Like, all right, well, I guess. And we have Generic White Male. He comes in, he renews his membership. Generic White Male, thank you so much for that, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I will add that to the counter. Yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. Super chats, direct donations, member gifts, all that good stuff. Schmidt, I did miss your super chat, I believe. I'm sorry, buddy. Hold on. No, I did. I got your super chat. For some reason, my Streamlabs it's messing with me right now. It's showing your super chat twice for some reason. And I mean, look, man, if Sony really is taking that approach where it's like, we're just going to try to like F over our player base over and over and over again and see how far we can take it, then that's why I'm not against the idea of like, listen, Sony, I'm not just like, I am the enthusiast, right? So like this, it almost like doesn't even apply to me. And that's why, like, I just don't care when people want to get upset and with me and be like, you're just a fucking fanboy. It's like, dude, I'm just enjoying what I want to enjoy, man. Like, I'm cool. Like, yeah, I'll buy the PS5 Pro. And I do not fucking regret it. I am glad I did. I am glad I did not. I'll tell you right now, if I didn't buy the PS5 Pro at the launch, it would have happened at some point because I would have realized, like, yeah, I want this thing. And that's the thing, man, is it's just like, the PS6 is going to be the inflection point of it all. And I'm really not that opposed to the idea of like the PlayStation 6 generation is just for like the enthusiasts and the hardcore. Because I realize that like if that's the direction Sony's going in, it's not too dissimilar from the direction that Microsoft is going in with Project Helix. And at the end of the day, if it's going to keep the hardcore players happy, the ones that really care about all the different shit, then you talk down to people if you do the same. Well, here's the thing, John McConsell, like, the only people I'm talking down to are the fucking assholes that I encounter. I want to make that clear. Like, I'm not talking down to people who are just being decent. I'm not trying to argue or fight with people like you, right? Where like you're not saying anything that's I would consider rude or crazy. I'm not seeing anybody in the chat saying anything that I would consider rude or disrespectful or just being an asshole. However, outside of my chat, that's pretty much all I fucking encounter. It's just people being dickheads. And it's like, dude, like you people, like the people who do that, it's like you fucking suck. Like you suck. You ruin so much here. And I get it because it's like, you know what the reality is? These people, they want to make it seem like They want to sit here and be like, oh, you're console warring. You're console warring. They're the same fucking people that want to sit there and be like, where's the competition? You guys didn't want competition. Now look, it's like, which is it? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, which is it? Right? You want to, like, the people I'm referring to, is like, you want to talk down to people for console warring and making it seem like, you know, there's something so horrible about the fanboys of each console, you know, going back and forth about which one's better, why it's better. But then you want to be the first motherfucker to open your mouth and be like, well, you guys didn't want competition, so this is what you got to deal with. It's like, this is what I'm talking about, the fucking double standard gaslighting bullshit with these people. And yet they want to come out here and continue to act like, I'm not doing that. That's not me. It's like, bitch, please. And that's what's crazy, is more and more people are just embracing it and being like, yeah, man, what gives? It's like, okay. And Corey Landiga comes in as I'm losing my absolute mind here, bro. Corey comes in.
But that was some fancy shooting.
Sorry, hold on, that was the wrong
You're
soundbite.
pretty good.
My bad. It wasn't Metal Gear soundbite.
I'm no
He
hero.
drops 5 membership gifts for you guys.
Never was.
Thank you for
Never
that,
will
Corey.
be.
They're just kids, MBG. Kids. Oh, no, they're not just kids. That's the irony of it. They're grown-ass adults. Bro's blood pressure's in the toilet. Woo! Got that Ric Flair energy today. All right, let me add that to the counter, though. No, because it's like, I'm tired of trying to be reasonable, man. I like if you want to know like what it comes down to, I'm tired of trying to be reasonable. I'm tired of trying to be nice. I'm tired of trying to fucking, you know, approach people with a level of decency thinking that I'm going to get that in return, when in reality, all I'm going to get in return is shit on. Fuck that. Like, this is why I've tried so hard to, like, you know, reel in my own audience and my own chat, some good people here who get defensive on my behalf, who get frustrated on my behalf. And I'm like, chill, it's not serious. But it's like, no, it's fucking, I'm over it at this point. I'm tired of it, where it's like, fuck that. Like, I'm tired of people disrespecting me and my audience. I'm tired of people disrespecting even just the fact that people like to fucking talk about PlayStation and play on it and make it seem like there's something so wrong with it. I'm tired of people just being disrespectful in general. And the justification is, but what about you, man? What about you? It's like, I have literally fucking mountains of evidence, mountains of proof. Like, what about me? Dude, you could go back to so many fucking streams, so many videos, so much content, just an overwhelming amount of content of me saying the opposite of what people are trying to claim. But you know what they'll do? They'll be like, yeah, but what about this one time? Like, this one thing here. What about that one tweet? And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not perfect. Yeah, that's what I'm at. I'm asking for people to be perfect, but I'm not perfect myself. What I'm asking for people to do is to stop being fucking assholes. That's it. Far from perfect. That's what I'm asking. And I realize that is an unreasonable request, apparently. That's not happening. All right, we have, my blood pressure is probably through the fucking roof. So you know what I'll do? I'm going to drink some coffee. We all know that's what coffee does. Coffee lowers your blood pressure. I'm crashing out. Damn right I'm crashing out. I'm going to continue to crash out until these motherfuckers admit it. Kyle, say stuff. You're saying, I saw GameStop offers $69. $69 to let Sony gamers switch to Xbox, but people still ain't buying it despite the price hike. Can't wait for GTA 6 still, though. Is that real? $69. They're offering $69. What happened? Dude, GameStop is so weird. John McConsole says the real console war now is between PlayStation players. The one upset at the price increases and the ones defending it. But it's the market. But that's the thing. But that's the thing. Like, let's see. You might be right. I'm not going to sit here and say you're wrong. Everybody loves PlayStation. Even with the price increases, it's going to be fine. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here, folks. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you, you might be right. I'm looking forward to seeing it myself, because if like 3 months from now, it's like, holy shit, bro, no one's buying PlayStations anymore, then that's okay. That's totally, like, that would not be a bad thing, because Sony will be like, you know what? Okay. We lost the market. They're not buying it anymore. I mean, maybe they're anticipating that, though. I don't know, because they already got like 94 million sold. I'm not sure. But that's the thing, is it's like, I guess what I'm trying to say here is that there are, like I said, there are different groups of people. And if you're talking about like there's going to be like infighting between like PlayStation players, maybe, but I would make the argument that 99% of people talking on the internet, myself included, I'm here talking on the internet, but 99% of people probably just talk. Not everybody. But, and you know, that 1% exists for sure. And that 1% is very, very vocal. Like, as vocal as they're vocal every chance they get. You know? But I think 99% of people, it's like, I don't know. If you told me, if I had to make a bet, if I had to put money down, on like, do you think if Sony sells the PlayStation 6 at $800, it will flop? It will sell very poorly and basically be a disaster? I would say no. Like, I would put my money against, like, or on no, it won't. It'll be just fine. And that's because I think that's, like I said, talk is fucking cheap, man. Talk is cheap, especially when that's really all the internet kind of offers these days, is just talk. You know, me here talking in the chat, talk in the comments, talk on the threads. I think at the end of the day, people will break. People will break because they always fucking break. Because that's the thing, is people don't care as much as they want to project they do. They try really hard. And I get it. That's the thing. It's like what the actual analysts are talking about is the more realistic side of it, which is, dude, what if they're just pricing people out? That's different. Somebody getting priced out, literally, versus somebody being like, fuck this. I'm not supporting this greedy corporation. Those are two different things. And one actually matters a lot more than the other in terms of practicality, what's actually going to happen. And the one I'm talking about is like, dude, you start pricing people literally out, you're not giving them an option anymore. There is no option. You just remove the option for them. And that's the biggest thing that we'll see if that happens or not. But I'm telling you, man, half the fucking people I see, I see talking on the internet being like, I ain't getting no PS6. Like, we'll see. We'll see. Because it's like, people sit here and they're like, for 20 years, I fucking hate Call of Duty. Call of Duty's trash. Call of Duty's garbage. Bro, Call of Duty apparently died fucking 10 years ago. Didn't you hear? That's what I'm saying. People just love to fucking talk. They love to hate. They love to hate, dude. And it's easy. It's so easy. It's too easy. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not wrong. We have a New Soul 9. He says, it's wrong to talk about PlayStation or any company if there's no mention of food afterwards. Yeah, New Soul, what's going on there, man? What's going on? John McConsler is saying, no, the market is excused for being used for price rise. If I understand what are you saying, like, me saying the market will speak is not, like, that's not an excuse for the price increases? I think I'm reading that correctly. I mean, I'll wait till hold on. Kyle Say Stuff, you're saying also 3 of my friends bought a Pro and the 4th bought the PS5 yesterday to avoid the price hike and is waiting for GTA 6, so sales might increase this month. Oh yeah, no, it's pumping. They're pumping it right now, absolutely. There's a reason why they didn't put it in effect literally the next day, and it's it's shit like that that's so funny. Where it's like, we know how to get PS4 players now. You got a week. Oh, Sony. Not the dumbest idea. If that was your goal, it's like, how we got to get these last, like, you know, I don't know, a couple hundred. Well, it's more than 100,000 people, but we got to try to get these last remaining PS4 players to just move now. We'll give them a week. John McConsler saying that wasn't what I was getting at, was talking about the weirdos out there defending multi-billion-dollar companies raising the prices. Absolute insanity. Well, that's the thing, man, is like, I agree with that. The problem is, it doesn't matter how much I agree with that. I'm always placed in that bubble. And I think this is where I'm just expressing my own personal frustration, which maybe you guys, it's a shame that you have to be subject to this, but I don't know. Some people like to see me crash out. You're saying, MBG, no, people are using that excuse to defend the price rise, that the market is and everything is rising in price, so we must do the same. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think that should be used as an excuse as much as it needs to be acknowledged, right? You can acknowledge it and also find it appalling, you know, or upsetting or wrong, right? I do think the more concerning aspect of all of this that people, you know, they should pay attention to, because there is truth to this, and this truth is peppered all throughout different industries and different products. It's that once the price goes up, it'll never go down. The thing about consoles, though, is that's it's never kind of been that way for consoles, though, you know? And this could mark a major step change in that now it is that way for consoles too. Like, for example, it's like, if Sony believes they can get away with selling an like if Sony finds out they can get away with selling an $800 console, they'll never not sell an $800 console again. And I'm like, perhaps that is true. But again, like, that to me, how far are you willing to fuck around to find out here? Because it's like, that could be true for maybe the first 10 million, maybe the first 25 million. Beyond that, like, bro, you're going to hit a fucking wall. So that's the thing. Sony's already hit walls, man. Like, why do you think they lowered the price of the PS2, of the PS3, of the PS4? Somebody might say, because of Xbox. And I'm like, yeah, that definitely played a role in it. But also mainly because people were like, nah. You know, after the first 30 million, after the first 40 million, then you start tapping into a group of people that are absolutely under no circumstances spending $500 or $600 on a console. Maybe they'll spend $400, probably closer to $300. That's why I'm saying, if Sony does take that mentality where it's like, yeah, we want to squeeze the most we can from, you know, our most loyal customers, the pay pigs or whatever. Sure. Like, go ahead. And that is what it is, because, yeah, some people just don't care. They're like, I don't care what it is. I'll pay for it. I want to be there. I'll give us a couple more treats since Corey dropped memberships. Hold on. Go ahead. So Sony should lose money on consoles, so a bunch of casuals have one who don't buy games. Well, that's the thing, is like, I want to see the console thrive, right? But at the same time, like, I don't I don't want to see Sony, and like, this is what I care about more than anything. Like, I guess Luna's getting the treats. It's like, does it suck if people start getting priced out? Like, yeah, I feel bad for those people. I do, because it's like, that does suck, and I wish it could be different, you know? Like, it's just a shitty thing. It's like, man, I would love to have this new console, but I literally don't have the money to buy it. Like, that fucking sucks. And that's happening more and more, you know? But what I would rather see at the end of the day, if it were up to me, I would rather see Sony take a hit on the console. And it's not because it's like, oh, I want to see the casuals who don't buy games, but be able to afford it. I mean, to me that's too extremist of an outlook for me personally. It's more along the lines of like, I don't want to see their business model collapse, because if their business model collapses, they're going to have to go to a different business model. And I'm fairly certain that whatever that alternative business model is, I'm going to like a lot less. And that's why I do feel like I'm willing to pay a little bit more. That's why right now, the diehard Xbox players for Project Helix are like, I will pay $1,200 day one, because they know it's like it's either that or this goes away. Like completely. And it turns out that like, yeah, for the people who really, really, really care, they might be the ones that have to take care of it. Like you gotta pay to keep it around. Oh wow. Luna actually went to the cubby there. Let me see here. We have Steelers, you're saying they've subsidized the platform for over 5 years. You had 5+ years to buy a very affordable console. Sony's allowed to maximize their console at this point. They'll subsidize the PS6 too. Well, yeah, I mean, what you're highlighting here, Steelers, is that Sony's allowed to operate their corporation, their company, however they see fit. Like if they decide like, yeah, now we're going to start trying to extract more profit from our sales, or like, we are not going to eat the cost of the PS5. They're within the right to do that. This is why I'm trying to tell people, like, watch closely what happens next. Because if the way this generation has gone is any indication at all, right? Where we're basing our future predictions off of what came before, you're not going to see any change. You're going to see Sony still reporting solid PS5 sales, even selling a PS5 at $600 and a Pro at $900. And if that happens, Sony's going to sit there and be like, well, we made the right call, And of course, the implications of what type of calls they'll end up making for the PS6, but that's the thing. That's the thing, man. Every time we talk about Project Helix, it's like they're going to fucking sell it for $1,000, $1,200. It's like, yes, because they do not care. And what I mean by that is they don't care about sales. Microsoft is in a position where if we only sell 3 million Project Helix consoles, we're making a fucking profit off of each one sold, and that's all that matters. We're going to allow it to justify its own existence from the start. The reason why I'm like, Sony can't do that. Like they can, but it's like Sony will give up the wider market. They will give up the mass market, or they will take the greatest risk of all time in the history of PlayStation, and they will put it to the test, and they will say, the mass market will accept $800, actually. They will. Here's the facts. Here's the fact of the matter. I'm just going to give it to everybody straight. Xbox sucks. No, I'm just kidding. That is a fact. But I say that as somebody who's going to buy their games. The fact of the matter is Sony has access to data that none of us have access to. So when they're sitting down and they're getting ready to make a decision, like the one they just did, or for the future with the PlayStation 6, they're doing so informed to a degree that only they can be. We are just onlookers. We are just assuming. Sony may have data that just flat out tells them, like, you can do an $800 console and it will be perfectly fine. The data could be wrong. I mean, not the data, what they're telegraphing based on the data they're seeing. It could turn out that it's like, well, yeah, it seemed that way based off the data, but the outcome was actually different. And I'm just saying that because that's a big factor that nobody's really considering. That it's like, dude, Sony was there for the reaction of the $700 PS5 Pro. And I think people quickly forget what happened with that. Sold the same amount as the PS4 Pro. I don't know. It feels like this entire generation, you've seen Sony make these decisions that the internet's reaction to those decisions is, holy shit, it's over, bro. It's fucking over. And then it's just actually everything's perfectly fine. I don't know. It just is. Here, boss. Last one. Go for it. And John McConsole, you're saying PlayStation makes all that money in gaming being number one to then raise the price, like Xbox, who's in the mud. Corpo bootlicking never felt so good. Blue Box is number one? Listen, man, what do you want from me? Don't you realize, like, John McConsole, don't you realize, sure, I know you know this. I'm a corporate bootlicker no matter what. You know that. Dude, you know that. You know that I could come out here and be like, bro, I'm fucking, like, dude, I literally, you want to talk about high blood pressure? Like, I had to refrain from punching a hole in my wall when I found out about Blue Point's closure. I'm the corporate bootlicker, though. And you know why? I'm going to tell you why. The reason why I'm never not going to be the corporate bootlicker is because the people, like, I don't even take it as you saying that, to be honest. I take that as, like, I encounter those people that talk to me like that. What I realize is the only way for me to not be the corporate bootlicker is to say, guys, I'm done with PlayStation. I'm no longer playing on PlayStation. I'm not giving Sony another cent, and I'm moving to PC. Or I don't know. I mean, I guess I could say I'm doing mobile gaming now, guys. No, I don't know. That's it. That's the only way I'll never be. That's the only way I will not be a corporate bootlicker. That's the only way. That's the only way. You're a corporate bootlicker if you are angry at something Sony does, and you're criticizing them. You're a corporate bootlicker if you're happy about a game that they're launching. You're a corporate bootlicker if you're critical about a game that they're launching. This is why I don't care anymore. I just realized that I'm done trying to walk some kind of like tightrope and be nuanced and be I guess even fair. Because you know what I get for being fair? I get fucking mercilessly shit on, dude. That's what I get. That's what I get. And I actually, it's not even, let me walk that back. That's too boo-hoo, pity me. No. I don't get mercilessly shit on. I get kind of pushed a little bit. Where it's like, these people behave the same way. You give them an inch, they'll take a fucking mile. If I'm critical about something Sony does, it's then like, well, you're also critical about this, right? It's like, well, no. Actually, that I'm totally fine with. And it's like, oh, well, then you are a corporate bootlicker. It's the same mentality across the board that I encounter. You know? It's so goddamn frustrating because it's like people that encounter my channel and they encounter my content, you know, they may or may not be aware, but there's so many people out there that literally just they try to damage my reputation by like, I'm gonna here's something MBG said or did, or here's like a response that somebody gave MBG over something, and that's all you'll see. It's been this way for fucking years. When it's like, bro, what about the literal other side of that happened in the same fucking stream or the same video or whatever? And that's where they're like, there you go. You're saying it's that there is no threat of you leaving. Exactly. And that's why I give up on trying to even have any nuanced takes when it comes to my live streams, because it's just, I know, like, there's just the hyenas lying in wait They always will. They always are, and they always will. Because it's like, until you let us know that you're going to leave, we're not going to leave. And that's where it's like, fuck you. Like, I'm not playing that bullshit. I'm not playing those games where it's like, I'm allowed, like, people are allowed to enjoy what they want to enjoy. You know? They're allowed to enjoy what they want to enjoy, period. End of discussion. You know, I'm not walking around here telling people what they should or shouldn't enjoy, where they should or shouldn't spend their money. Do you think any of these people who want to sit here every day, and fucking rag on me, do you think any of them are going to go out of their way to find the section of my stream yesterday where I specifically said I don't think it's worth buying a PlayStation 5 Pro starting April 2nd, maybe even right now, because the PlayStation 6 is coming very soon and the price is now just way too high, in my opinion, to justify that unless you're absolutely fucking certain you want it? No, you won't. The point is, you won't see that, but you'll still see these motherfuckers coming around day in and day out. You damn corporate shill, damn Sony ponies, and that's where I have had enough, man. Where it's like, fine, I'm just gonna embrace it. Yeah, I'm a Sony pony. I'm a corporate bootlicker. I'm a fucking shill because I bought a PS5 Pro and I enjoy the hell out of it. I like to play on PlayStation. I like to earn trophies. I like to buy physical PlayStation games. And you know what? I'm going to buy a fucking PlayStation 6. Hell, I'll fucking buy 2 of them. Well, not really, because I'm going to buy the PlayStation Handheld. I'm going to buy it all. And I'm going to enjoy it. And that's that. And that's that. And so for anybody who wants to... anybody who wants to come in and be like, nah, man. Nah. Like, it's like, hey, whatever you say I am, I am. Whatever you say I am, I am. Okay? There you go. You win. You got me. You got me. Yeah, it's not the stream's not safe for work. I'm like, fucking son of a fucking bitch. All right. Hold on. I have John McConsler saying bootlickers in general, like my previous chat, defenders. The fact you got defensive, do you feel like one? Bro, I'm sorry. John McConsell sitting there with he's got his glasses on, he's got his notepads, like, interesting. Do you feel like a bootlicker, MBG? I'm sorry, man. That is some funny shit, bro. And then you say, do you need a tiny violin? I do. No, you know what I need? I need to fucking roundhouse him. I need to roundhouse somebody. I can't roundhouse somebody. I'm not that flexible, but in my mind, I do. You know? That's what I need. Whiskey, you're saying on a happy note, about to throw some pork belly on the smoker. He's smoking his meat every day. Here we go again. No, but look, I know I'm like crashing out, and that's fine. You know, it happens. But my frustration is rooted in something that I believe is true. And I guess I just struggle to accept that it's just the way it's going to be. And so because of that, I'm not going to be as open-minded anymore. Mainly because I have discovered that in being as open-minded as I have been, my reward for that has been people manipulating what I say, people cherry-picking, people having selective hearing, and more importantly, at the end of the day, people making it known that, like, no, you can say and do whatever you want, MBG, but this is the role you play. And so I'm just going to kind of say, okay, well, any extra effort I may have been making to try to see the other side, to try to understand, to try to make considerations, I'm not going to do that anymore. And instead, I'm just going to purely focus on what I like. what I want and what I like. And to anybody who's like, yeah, but I have a problem with that, or I'm against that, or I find that humorous. It's like, okay, I don't give a shit anymore. Like I just literally don't have anything left to give in that regard, where it would be different. It would be different if people reacted with a level of respect where it's like, oh, you know, you didn't have to do that and you did. And maybe, maybe we can find a common ground, or maybe we can find a good compromise here, good middle ground. And I don't know, man. I've just discovered that that doesn't exist. Maybe one day it will, but that's not today, and that's not going to be tomorrow, and that seems very far away. Chartard, you're saying PS5 is done. I don't think GTA will even save it. I don't agree with that. GTA, listen, I know we're talking a lot about the PlayStation 6. The PlayStation 6 is like a year after GTA 6. GTA 6 is going to be such a big test for so much, man, where we don't even know the pricing yet. And we should probably just brace ourselves, where I encounter people all the time for GTA 6 that they don't know what's coming. And it's amazing. It's amazing. It's like there are people that really think GTA 6 is like overhyped and it's not going to be what everybody like. They don't get it. They will, though. They will. And I'm really looking forward to that, because when I tell you nothing will ever touch GTA 6. Ever. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about the quality of the game. Eventually, something will surpass GTA 6's quality. What I mean is that what you are about to see happen in terms of records being not just broken, but new records being set, it will never be touched. Ever. I'm telling you. Maybe not. I don't want to say ever, like gaming 200 years from now or 100 years from now. I don't want to be that hyperbolic, but people are just not ready for how record-breaking this game is going to be, and how it's GTA 6 is going to break so many records and do so well that for probably like 6 months, people are going to think the gaming industry has recovered. That's how good it's going to do. It's going to do so good that everybody's going to be like, holy shit, the gaming industry recovered. It's on the rise now. It's like, no, that's literally just GTA 6. It will slow down, but before it does, people are going to think that the tide has finally turned. And that's not, I mean, who knows? Maybe GTA 6 could turn the tide completely. GTA 6 is done. I don't think even PlayStation will save it. GTA 6 is a new Wii Sports your grandma's playing. I agree. Dude, GTA 6 is, God, man. But the thing that I'm going to be so interested to watch with GTA 6 is the FOMO, dude. The FOMO doesn't exist at its peak yet. You get a good sense of it when you see the first GTA trailer and then the second. But really, it's going to be the month leading, the 2 weeks, I will say, the 2 weeks of November leading up to the launch. It's going to be a hell of a time, dude. And I just want it to be known that GTA 6 is going to be a prime example of talk is cheap. Oh, Walro, I'm sorry, dude. I missed 2 of your chats. Saying, I'm glad to see Johnny peeking through. MBG is like Bruce Banner, but we need the Hulk. Free Johnny P. Unleash the P. Whoa. He says, it says you sent that twice. So I don't know if that's bugged or not on my end, but Walroar, thank you, man. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm like, maybe I'll just dress up like Johnny P all the time. Because that I am Johnny P. That's what it is. It's not an act. It's not a joke. It's very real. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe we start off April a little bit different. John McConsole, you're saying Tetris 500 million, Minecraft 350 million is who it needs to catch. And Chartard, you're saying you think Rockstar took a decade to make GTA 6 run on PS4? Definitely not. No, I think GTA 6 would launch on PS4 if it could, but I think it literally cannot. It literally cannot. I mean, could GTA 6 do something like Tetris numbers, Minecraft? Minecraft, I think, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to be real. I think you're going to see a lot more people buying GTA 6 than you saw buying GTA 5. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a while, but I think it's going to pass GTA 5 in a surprising amount of time. Surprisingly less amount of time. No, I didn't catch that. If GTA 6 runs at 30 frames, it's going to be a huge L for you guys. Why? Why? Why is it going to be a huge L for us? I hope we get 60 for real. Capono, why is it a huge L for us? I mean, it is an L generally. Like, we do want to see a 60 FPS performance mode, but why like us specifically? I don't like the way you're making that sound, Capono. You're making me nervous over here. Making me feel a little nervous. I'll get to work on the graphics. MBG scored out with Johnny P. Let's see. I've been saying if the Series S drops to 300, I think Xbox could sell as much as PlayStation this holiday. You'd be surprised how cheap people are. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know that that's their I don't know that that's their prerogative, you know, Microsoft's that is, where like we want to leverage GTA 6 to try to move units. I think that's literally Sony's, but that's the irony here is they're raising the price before GTA 6, but dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, Sony must have got some kind of info or some shit like, sir, we just found out that GTA 6 trailer number 3 featuring gameplay is dropping next month in April. And that's when they're like, it is time. I don't know. It kind of does come off that way where it's like, it's time. That's right. It's time. $900 PS5 Pro. Do it. Do it. Execute order 69. I don't know. What I was trying to think of a number relevant to PlayStation, but execute order 900. All right. That's I've lost it, man. GTA 5 was horrible. Wall Warrior saying, what you are, Johnny P. No, I don't believe it. It can't be. You are so different. He wears glasses and blue. You aren't Johnny P. Stop lying. I'm not. No. Johnny P. usually rocks a mustache. John McConsole, you're saying analysts predict 100 million sales by 2030 for GTA 6. I think they're wrong. I think they're totally wrong. I'm going to be honest. I think I disagree with the. I think it's going to be well beyond 100 million, dude. Because I do think it will go to PC pretty. I don't say like really quickly, but I don't think it's going to take multiple years for GTA 6 to go to PC. And then you're also going to have the next gen consoles. And then there's rumors, I don't know if it's true or not, there is rumors that GTA 6, they're trying to make a Switch 2 version. I'll believe it when I see it, but I don't know. I'm thinking beyond 150 million. Certainly. By maybe even more than that. You know, maybe like 175. By 2030, dude, I mean, that's a lot of years for GTA 6 to sell. Maybe I'm wrong though. I don't know. I would be surprised if my thoughts on GTA 6 turn out to be wrong. Where it's like it's big, but MBG, it's not all that, dude. I would be surprised because I'm like, I don't know. There's this energy around GTA 6 that I have literally never experienced in any medium for anything. Like, this is next level shit we're dealing with here. MVP Moss, you're saying, do you have any game ideas? And what type of game? No, honestly, I don't. I'll be honest. With the way things are, these days. Like the only thing I would have said for a game idea, like if you're asking me about something like totally original, something like not created, I don't know. I'm not that creative. My imagination is not that good. I feel like anything I could think has already been made 100 times over. However, if you're asking me like what type of game do you want made that hasn't been made, I don't want to say ever, but anytime recently. Well, we got the John Wick game announcement, so there was that. But I remember a long time ago, Naughty Dog said that they would be up to making a Punisher game. And I would love to see something like that with Naughty Dog's quality. That would be sick. There has been at least one Punisher game in the past, but it was like a PS2 game, and I think it was just considered okay. But yeah, but if you're asking me like an original type of experience, an original type of game, I'm gonna leave that type of stuff to the Kojimas of the world because I don't know at this point, man. I can't even I can't think of anything, truthfully. PC is getting day one release. Read between the lines during calls. Oh, you think for GTA 6? John McConsole, you're saying you are eating up the hype too much. Most GTA 5's 200 million plus sales are people buying it multiple times. PC is predicted 2027. So it's on PC, PS5, PS6, Series X, Helix for that 100 million. It would make sense. I mean, but I feel like PC is the wild card here, man. And no, I get what you're saying. There is a truth for GTA, but I feel like that truth extends to games like Minecraft and Tetris. And I guess maybe when you think about games like Minecraft and Tetris, the reason why a game like GTA 6 might not be able to, ever catch those titles, it could be because, well, games like Tetris and Minecraft can they're not cutting edge, especially Tetris, like they're very simple. They're very basic. I mean, Minecraft you could do a hell of a lot in it, but it's easy for those games to be accessed anywhere. GTA 6, it's kind of true what you're saying here. It will be more limited just by the nature of the technology, the cutting edge nature of the game, I should say. And the fact that even when it does release on PC, a lot of people are going to still be cut off potentially, where it's like, you got to upgrade your PC, son. And it's like, I can't right now. Like, that's also too expensive, potentially, Because when I think of that, I think about the fact that PC is such a massive install base that alone, dude, that alone combined with the install base of the consoles and the double and triple dipping. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, you're saying Minecraft is cheap. Tetris is 40 years old. Tetris, that's true. That is a pretty big advantage. I'm not sure how you catch a 40-year-old game at this point, especially something like Tetris. I don't know. Maybe I am overhyping it. I guess I'm just saying, like, I'm personally anticipating that I'm never going to experience the excitement that I'm going to feel going into the launch of GTA 6 for any game ever again. Like, and I don't mean like there could be games that interest me that can reach that level of excitement, I suppose, but I guess I'm really just kind of referring to like seeing it take over at the same time. Like, where, people are literally like, people are not going to work that day, man. Like, the economy is going to take a downturn for a day or a few. Perfect Image, you're saying, I don't think that's the point where I'm pocket watching. I'm more unit. If you don't care, the majority don't care. I'm playing devil's advocate. Perfect Image, I'm struggling with this one. I'm struggling with this one. Hold on. Let's see. You stopped playing Minecraft once Microsoft bought it. People are spending money on GTA 5 every month. It's 13 years old. GTA 6 will be a monster. It will be. Yeah. Didn't people say Starfield was game of the generation? Wait until GTA 6 launches. Well, that's the thing. I do feel like any game has the chance of getting overhyped, but I think GTA 6 is one of those rare titles where it's like good luck trying to overhype it. You know? But I don't know. Like, I think it's not like the story of the game is going to be like, oh my God, or any. I think it's going to be just like, it's going to be the most, like the most true to life, the most realistic gaming experience ever created, where there's just going to be details there that, again, 10 years from now, you're still not going to, no, 15 years from now, you're still not going to see studios. Like it's like the only other game that could potentially match GTA 6 is GTA 7. And that's interesting to me, because it's like, that means it's truly a one of a kind game. It's truly one of a kind. Where it's like, if you look at Red Dead 2 right now, what game exists that can go toe to toe with it? Where it's like, here's another open world game set in this time period that comes very close. It does not exist. And I think about, it's going to be the same thing for GTA 6, where it's like, give me an open world game set somewhere in the United States or in the world, in a city in the world somewhere, that gets anywhere close to matching what this game is doing. And it's like, I don't think you're going to see that ever until GTA 7 comes out. I mean, unless like some studio unless Sony or somebody or Microsoft is like, we're building a team, like where they're going to actually try to make a genuine fucking GTA competitor, but they're not going to do that, because they're like, what, are you crazy? Like, you know how much time and money that would take, and there's probably not enough development talent in the world to do that. MVP Moss, you're saying, nah, they underhyping this game. It's going to be huge. John McConsole, you're saying, it'll obviously break the fastest selling records, probably quickest to 10, 20, 30 million ones too, but it's not going to sell over 100 million for at least 5 years. All right. Well, so if we look at the PlayStation 5, where GTA 6 is launching, the PlayStation 5 will, I think we can assume, maybe I'm wrong. Again, maybe PS5 sales will fall off a fucking cliff, dude. Maybe we can assume that GTA 6 will sell to 100 million PS5 units globally. And then you throw in Xbox. Let's just say by that point in time, Xbox is now at 30 million. So there's 130 million people that can buy GTA 6. We maybe take off a certain percentage of people who just bought the consoles but don't play on them or use them anymore. Then you take off another percentage of people who just aren't interested in GTA 6. I mean, dude, I think you could see GTA 6 hit 50 million in 6 months. I don't know if that sounds like insane or not. I don't know how insane that sounds, but the reason why I'm saying that is because it's like, I think if you're talking about a total install base of 130 million, you consider how big of a game how big of a name GTA is, and how so many people were first introduced to GTA through 5 over the last 13 years. Well, all right, let's think of it like this. How many units do we think GTA 6 can sell in 1 month? I mean, certainly more than 10. GTA 6 will likely sell over 10 million units within like 1 or 2 days or 3 days at most. John McConsole saying 140 PlayStation users can can buy their own IP and don't. And that's true, but like that's where I think like I'll be the first one to tell you Sony does not have anything that comes close to GTA. Sony does not own an IP that is anywhere near the level of GTA. Not even close. Arguably the closest thing would be Gran Turismo. Arguably. But even then, it's like, ironically, GT. GT is the closest thing to GTA, but very, completely different genres, completely different games. I think in 1 month, GTA 6 could sell between 20 and 25 million. I really mean that. Like, what? Like, if you're on PlayStation or Xbox, what the fuck else are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I'm like, that's a serious question. Like, GTA 6 is one of those games where I'm genuinely like, what are you doing when this game comes out? Who's going to be sitting there playing Marathon? Playing, like, the only game that it's like, yeah, I'd rather play Call of Duty. But even then, it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you not playing? I don't know. I guess that's just how my mind works, where I look around and I'm like, how could you turn on like, unless you're a young kid. If you're a young kid, that's different. If you're a young kid, you're playing Fortnite or Roblox and that's what you use your console for. And calm down, MBG. I'm not going to calm down. What the fuck are you doing not playing GTA 6? Little Timmy. No way. Whiskey, you're telling me you're not playing GTA 6? What are you doing, Whiskey? What do you do? It's set in Florida, right? No. How are you not? What? Okay, well, let me ask you, why are you not a GTA fan? Because there's got to be a specific reason. MVP Moss, you're saying, think about the streamers too and the marketing. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, it's going to catch fire like we've never seen. You never liked GTA? Damn. See, I don't know. That messes me up. Because, like, maybe there are more people like that. That just like, yeah, I don't fucking care. GT what? He's busy smoking his meat. He's like, GTA 6 is out. I'm smoking my meat, bro. I mean, to be honest, though, it's not the worst alternative. That maybe that's like the one exception. It's like, all right, that's acceptable. Not my game, bro. It isn't fun to me. I don't know. I tried 3 in San Andreas. And interesting. Yeah, I mean, I can understand it, because like there's people like with like Red Dead 2, they're like, it's too cumbersome and stuff. I can see it. Yo, you know what? That'll be the barometer, though. Like, that'll be the true test. If Whiskey Gaming breaks and is like, I got GTA 6, guys, then we know. Then we know it's like, oh, shit. Okay. John McConsole, you're saying 25 million in PS4s, 117 million players only bought GTA 5, 35 million on PS3, and that's probably those PS3 players buying the PS4 version. What the fuck are they doing? It's like a serious question. Like, what the like? If you're not buying GTA, like if you didn't buy GTA 5, I don't know. Maybe I am getting ahead of myself. Then stop. Listen, I know that I'm all about the data. Stop throwing the data at me. Stop giving me the numbers. I don't want to see the numbers. I want to live in my fantasy world. All right. You're more hyped for Wolverine than GTA? Damn. I mean, I'm hyped for Wolverine too. I'm really excited for it. Perfect Image with a $2 chat. You're saying, MBG, you're claiming that you were for Sony and the price is fine because you can afford it. I understand because I can too, but I'm advocating for the minority, not the corpse. Oh no, well, no, I get that, Perfect Image. And that's the thing. Like, I want to make it clear, like, I don't want to confuse people. I'm not advocating for the prices being higher. The only thing I feel like I can do is be honest, just like you are right now, where it's like, we both are in agreement. Like, we don't, yeah, I don't want the PlayStation 6 to be $800. If that's what it ends up being, I'm still going to buy. Like, yeah, I'm going to be a PlayStation 6 buyer. And that's where I'm going to play my games for the entire generation. Right. And so I guess, like, for people like me and you, we see it differently. Like, for me, when I bought the PS5 at the launch, it was $500. And I remember when we were leading up to 2024 talking about the PS5 Pro, and there were rumors of it. And everybody was like, we don't need no PS5 Pro. Like, this is like, that's stupid. Like, the PS5 is perfectly fine. Who wants a PS5 Pro? And I remember my response to that for like 2 years straight leading up to the reveal in 2024 was like, listen, man, if by the time the PS5 Pro comes out, right? If the question is like, you paid $500 for your base PS5, did you get your money's worth? For me, the answer to that question is I got my money's worth in the first 3 months. So after putting thousands of hours into it over the course of 4 years, absolutely I got my money's worth. So for me, after 4 years, it's like, yeah, man, I'll take a better version of this now. I'm willing to pay for it. It's a little bit more expensive. And the only question I'm going to be asking myself after that 4 years is up again is, did it feel like it was worth the money? And that, I think that is subjective to people. And that's what makes it complicated, where it's like there will be a player who says, no, I had the fucking PS5, for 7 years and it wasn't worth it. And that's where, like, I'm just in disagreement because I don't know. I just play games differently than that person, I suppose, And John McConsole, you're saying fans of good gameplay don't like GTA. They exist. I mean, I will say this about GTA 5's gameplay is like, it does have great gameplay. There are aspects to it that I always felt like could be better. And I know that this doesn't really make much sense, but it's like, please put Max Payne 3 shooting mechanics in GTA. I know it doesn't make the most sense, but it's like, that would make it so much funner, dude. That would make it feel so much cooler to shoot guns in that game, considering that's such a big part of the game. But I understand it kind of. Can we just get a fucking Max Payne 4? Sorry, I don't know. You're talking about good gameplay from Rockstar, and I immediately thought about Max Payne 3, dude. But yeah, I don't know. How many hours of gameplay would justify 1,000? Well, it's also not just like the sheer hours, it's the quality of it as well. And like, when I look at all the games, whiskey, then you buy it. Yeah. Well, dude, that's what I'm saying. See, I got telling you, I got the good ideas for Rockstar, bro. Listen to me. I mean, I feel like, it's more about the quality of the experience you're getting overall. Where, like, this is why when I talk about expensive consoles, to me, it's a matter of time spent and how you engage with it. Where it's like, I assume that most, like, enthusiast PlayStation players, or console players for that matter, not even just PlayStation, enthusiast console players, and maybe PC players as well, certainly. Anybody who considers themselves like enthusiasts, right? A hardcore user, you're constantly, using this device. Like, I mean, constantly. Like, it's always, I don't want to say always on, but it's on every day. A lot of times for multiple hours a day, if you can do that, and it's your go-to, it's a go-to device for you. You use it as much as your phone or something. I think for those people, it's hard to put a price on it, where it's like, I guess, I don't know, if somebody told me like the PlayStation 6 is going to be $1,000, I will admit at that point, I don't think I'm fucking buying a Pro under any circumstance. I got to be honest. If I make $1,000 console purchase, considering how like much higher that is compared to any other, My mentality for that will be like, yeah, I'm thinking about 6 or 7 years. And those 6 or 7 years should be fucking I should literally have like over 10,000 hours or something. Something absurd. Just a crazy number of time spent with this device and this machine. But I'm not talking about just like it being on idly, I'm talking about like playing hundreds of games potentially, putting hundreds of hours into games. I don't know. That's why, like, when people talk about the PlayStation 5 gen to me, and specifically they talk about it from a negative standpoint, this is where I always feel like I just struggle anymore, where like I can be reasonable. I have been so many times. Most of the time I am, where it's like I completely understand why somebody who doesn't engage with PlayStation the way I do, or the way that some of us do, why they look at some of the things that have happened and occurred this gen and they determined this gen was not good, or it was just, one of the worst gens we've gotten. I get it. Like, I can see that. I don't agree with it because that's not how that's like, for me, that's not my experience. If I were to say that was my experience, that would literally be a lie. That would mean I didn't enjoy all the things I did. That would mean I didn't put more time into playing on my PS5 than any other console in the history of my life. That would mean that I haven't bought more games on the PS5 compared to any other console generation. Um, and so that's where I guess, I don't know. I mean, we could maybe, I think it's reasonable to present an argument. But not even an argument, but a possibility that console gaming is no longer going to be accessible. Because that's why I'm so confused at the PlayStation 6 and everything we're hearing. Because it's like, what do you mean? That is what console gaming is. It's the cheaper alternative, and that's why it's like, hey man, maybe times are changing. The cheaper alternative is whip out your phone, bro. Join the cloud. Yeah, John McStadia. John McConsole says gaming is for elite. Poor can play on a crack pipe. Exactly. These damn peasants. Fucking broke motherfuckers. Go play on a crack pipe. That's gonna be Sony's message, dude. That's Sony's marketing. Can't afford a PS6? Pick up a crack pipe. Dude, that's crazy. Oh man. And I wonder why YouTube probably has me shadow banned. I mean, I just look, man, I'm not completely opposed to this idea of like Sony being like, we're really just trying to appeal to the hardcore gamer now. Like, that wouldn't bother me because it's like, sweet, like that's me and a lot of people here, but I know too much about the business side of Sony's gaming division, and I'm like, how are you going to do that? Like, if you're walking away from mobile gaming, and as of right now, PlayStation Plus is still tethered to your devices, what's the play here? So that's why I just continue to find myself confused. And, I just think that when it comes to where people are going to end up finding themselves come next gen, it's anybody's guess. I think you're going to see a lot of people say I'm buying the PlayStation 6. I think you're going to see even more people say I'm staying on PS5. You will see some people say, actually, I'm leaving to go to PC. And you'll see some people say, I'm going to Project Helix or maybe even Nintendo. Right? But I did put this out. Hold on. Who's hyped for Soros? I'm getting more excited for it. Yeah, the more I'm reading about it. I did put this question out on Twitter today. I'm curious to see what people are saying. I said, I fucking misspelled it. I said, will do you plan? I'm so annoyed by that. I hate when I have like just massive typos in my tweets. Will do you plan to do next generation? Damn it. Like, I can't get it right, man. Like, come on. I'm so annoyed by that. You're buying 10 PS6s, no bull. Why 10? Like, I believe you, Michael, but why 10? Michael, buy me a PS6. There we go. I'll have a P.O. box open by that point, but I'll take one of those PS6s. I can't edit it now. It's too late. Will you, do you plan to do next generation? Oh, my God. Basically, what I'm asking is, what do you plan to do next generation? Buy the PlayStation 6, stay on PS5/Pro, move to Xbox, move to PC, move to Nintendo. I got over 300 replies already. One of the top replies is buy the PS6 handheld and the new handheld. Hold on, let me filter it by likes. Let me see. PS6 day one, Xbox Helix. Staying on PC because fuck buying a console at this point. Keeping my PS5, maybe get a Series X at some point. PS6 day one, PS6. Right now, moving to PC, stay PC. Get a PC because everything will cost a band next gen. It's all over. I mean, it's all over the place. So far, not a single person saying I'm going to Nintendo. All right, well, it's yeah. Everybody's got their plans. Everybody's got their plans. You're being an anti-scalper. Yeah, Michael, make sure you save one of those PlayStation 6s for me, man. I will just trade in or sell my Pro. I won't be in any rush. Those hectic launches are ridiculous now. I mean, dude, I really hope, like, I'm gonna be real right now. It'd be cool if the demand wasn't as high for PS6 because trying to secure a PS5 pre-order was a fucking nightmare. And I don't want to go through that again. I mean, that literally was terrible. One of the most terrible console launches, or not launches, but like trying to secure a console. That was a bad experience. So I really hope it's just like if you want a PS6, you can get a PS6. It's fine. You know what I mean? No one's even mentioning the Steam Machine. Well, because dude, the Steam Machine at this point is like I don't think Valve even knows what they want to do yet. I think that they're aware that they are launching it at the worst possible time. Literally, the worst time. Is Nintendo next gen? Oh, yes. I hate to say that, but yeah, it is. It is. It is because I think the PlayStation handheld will lock in the Switch 2. Where, like, even if Sony wanted to be like, no, the PS6 is so far superior than the Switch 2, you're just going to want to make games to take advantage of the PS6. The PlayStation handheld exists, and the PS5 exists too. Cross-gen exists. That would be the simplest way to say it. Nintendo's going to release a $5,000 pipe-shaped console. Is that a joke? Actually, like, I'm laughing, assuming it's a joke, but wait, did they announce that? I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. Nintendo's fucking whack. Like, they do the weirdest, craziest shit. Maybe they will do that. They're going to release the first crack pipe console. Nintendo's getting into a new business. They're going to get you hooked. Michael, bro. Okay. Anyway, guys, as we continue our conversation, appreciate all the support you've been showing. Consider dropping a member gift or becoming a member. We're still trying to work our way to 25 members. We'll see if we can hit that before today's stream wraps up. This is again another situation where I've been streaming for a little over 2 hours, and for some reason it feels like I've been streaming for 4. It's the high blood pressure. You're absolutely right, MBG. The handheld market is too lucrative right now and is going to be a big part of next gen. The Switch 2 is going to be well positioned for that. Yeah, the thing I'm most curious about when it comes to Sony's plan with the handheld is how it's going to tackle the Japanese market, because we see how dominant the Switch and Switch 2 are. I mean, Nintendo wipes the floor with Sony in Japan. And it does seem to be partly due to the handheld factor of, of the Switch and the Switch 2. And we saw that Sony was trying to get much more serious about selling, the region locked PS5, and they did a Japanese only state of play and they're basically relaunching PlayStation 5 in Japan. And it helped a little bit for like a quarter or, quarter and a half, but now it's just back to where it was. And so, I think that the handheld is to try to appeal to people who bought the PSP and the PlayStation Vita, but also certainly to try to make another play for the Japanese market. And, yeah, that's another thing I'm really curious about with the handheld is how Sony's going to present it in terms of it's dockable. That to me is such a major factor. That's a major factor of like, what is your intent? Like, what is your goal with this thing? And I think if they put a lot of emphasis on you can dock this thing, if they put a lot of emphasis on that, that tells me like, oh man, this is meant to be the entry point PS6. Are member gifts better than super chats? No, I wouldn't say they're better. Super chats and member gifts are basically equal. I mean, I thought about like trying to do super chat goals. I mean, YouTube actually has that built in, which I should probably take advantage of. But I don't know what type of reward to really attach to it. So, I do the Feed the Beast reward attached to member gifts. But no, they all help and contribute to the channel. I will say though, the difference between member gifts and super chats is super chats are good in terms of like keeping the conversation flowing in certain directions. They can definitely help with that. The member gifts are really good for more community engagement of like, people getting gifts and creating like a camaraderie. So there is that like level of difference there. But no, they both help the channel. Is it confirmed you can dock the PS6 portable? Moore's Law is dead. The person who pretty much leaked the entire APU and has like apparently actual documentation from AMD and Sony, it says it's dockable. And to me, that's such a huge factor here, where it's like, I think we might need to kind of prepare for the idea of like the PlayStation 6 is going to copy the Switch. Like there will be a home console. There will be a home console. But I don't know, man. Like I don't know how Sony's going to, I don't know. Like I want to say in my mind I can see it simplified, John McConsole, you're saying Japan market is very handheld based, always has been. Culture there is of commuters. People play on the trains a lot, going to and from work, Game Boy to today. Yeah, exactly. It's stuff like that. And that's what's interesting is like Hideaki Nishino, the guy making these decisions, Japanese. He lives in Japan. This is why people are not too surprised to an extent to hear that Sony is trying to take the Japanese market more seriously, because it seems like when Jim Ryan was in charge, and we've like heard reports from people internally at Sony that like once Jim Ryan was in charge, like he didn't give a shit about Japan, dude. He was all about Europe and the US. And I think, these markets are still just as important to Sony. But yeah, man, you can imagine how like, well, you've completely lost, you've completely lost any semblance of relevancy you may have had in the Japanese market. Are you saying all modern handhelds are dockable, sometimes just with HDMI? And that's the thing, right? To me, this is more about Sony making it clear, like, because you know how when you buy a Switch, the way it's marketed is like, yes, there is, they. I don't know if I'm explaining it right. Like it still looks like a console. Like you could understand how somebody would say, I'm going to buy the Switch 2 and it's just going to be my console that I can take on the go. I just don't know if Sony's going to try to go in that direction with this handheld where like, will it actually have like a true dock, like something that sits under your entertainment center and you just place it on there and, is it possible that they could make I was just thinking about this. Like, is it possible that they could make it so that the controller can detach and come together? I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe I'm probably overthinking it, but I just have a lot of curiosity regarding Sony's strategy with the handheld, because to me the handheld could be their savior next gen. If it's like we got to launch an $800 PS6, trying to position the PlayStation 6 as a hybrid, but offering like that's where I think Sony could find a big win, man, where it's like they are copying Nintendo. Here's the PlayStation handheld. It literally comes with a dock. You can place it down and it configures in a way where you can just basically put DualSense together and you got a DualSense. You can play it on your TV and just use it like a regular console. And you can take it on the go. For anybody who's like, oh no, I don't want that, Sony. I don't want you to copy Nintendo. I just want a console. They're like, yeah, we have that. It's the PS6. And it's a beast. This is where I feel like Sony could kind of attack from every angle. And if they roll over the PS5, where it's like, yes, the PS5 is going to be supported for like 6 years, they're not. You see what I'm saying? Like they're hitting every possible angle at that point. Maybe other than just the really affordable angle, which would be like a $200 device. But maybe they will make some kind of. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll make some kind of like really cheap USB stick device or something, or like a little micro console that it will do cloud streaming, and they'll expand PlayStation Plus. So exactly what Xbox is doing. I mean, I guess, but I think Sony, well, no, because Microsoft with their handheld, they're more, I'd say Microsoft's handheld is leaning much more towards like the more higher end PC gaming handhelds. Unless you're talking about the Series X and Series S, which in that case, yeah, it's going to be much more similar to that, but also very different due to where we are technologically with AMD. Switch dock is performance effective, others aren't. Attack all angles like Microsoft did with the Series. Okay. Yes. I'm saying Sony's going to copy Xbox. That's what I'm saying. You know what? Not even I'm going to take it further. Sony's going to copy Xbox and Nintendo. That's right. And Steam a little bit. The White Allies 500. Yeah, I keep forgetting that. You're right. I keep forgetting that they have a cheaper model. You're talking about all the hardware they're doing, console/PC handheld. Well, yeah. I mean, look, man. This is where it's like, what do you want me to say that I haven't already said? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want me to say we were wrong about the Series S? Because I already said that. I already said that numerous times. We're like, were we right that it was going to cause some problems? Yes. But were we wrong in the bigger picture of like, this thing's going to ruin this generation? No. I mean, dude, I'll tell you this. If people had any idea of what was going to happen this gen for both PlayStation and Xbox, literally nobody would have given a shit about the Series S. And by that, I mean, they wouldn't have given a shit. They wouldn't have been giving it any flack because they realize there's bigger problems. You know? Michael Werneth, a member for 29 months. He says, please smash the like button. Guys, this isn't just anybody asking you to smash the like button. This is Michael Werneth. Michael, I'm going to buy 10 PlayStation 6s Werneth. Michael, I just bought 2 PS5 Pros Werneth. So yeah, hit that like button, guys. I have not done a good job asking you to do that throughout the stream. Guys, guess what? John McConsole says Sony is throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. Well, I mean, I don't know that I agree with that because that insinuates that they don't know what they're doing. Like, when we look at how Sony approached live service, that to me was them throwing, like, that's like the first time I've seen Sony just hurl shit at the wall. I'm like, what are you doing? You know? And they're like, we don't know. Even we don't know what we're doing. Listen, I think what Sony's trying to do is be strategic. But I do think there's a risk associated with it. And I think what they're ultimately trying to do, it's not so much about throwing shit at the wall and hoping that shit sticks. I think it's about mitigation, where if I'm Sony, I am well aware that it's going to be a lot harder for the PlayStation 6 to keep pace with the PS4 and PS5. Are we really going to get 3 gens in a row that look this good? Rich Rider saying, if I do not see 200 likes by 3 p.m., I will put all of you who did not like on a 30-day timeout. Wait, how are you going to be able to find that out, Rich? I don't have a filter. I wish I did. I could see. Guys, I'm about to experiment with something real quick. There's this new feature that YouTube implemented, and I don't know what it is. Is it not here now? Wait, what happened to it? So there's this new feature called overlay for breaks. This overlay will need to be integrated to your third-party encoder to work. The overlay will appear when ads aren't available. Choose from your videos, add a custom overlay. What the fuck? What is this? Use default overlay? You know what? I don't know if I want to mess with this. I don't know if I want to mess with this. It's just this weird thing that they implemented, and I don't know what it does. I mean, I guess like something comes up on the screen or some shit. I don't know. Maybe it's. I'm probably gonna end up breaking the stream. You already like the stream? We'll like it again. Just kidding. Yeah, let me get this out of here. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that right now. I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna break something. It's not worth it. It's already given me enough issues. The PlayStation Portal and the PlayStation 5 Pro turned out much better than what many people thought it would. And that's true. That's absolutely true. I think people were convinced, especially at the Portal, that it was DOA. And even I'm like, oh, surprised, like, wow, okay. It's not. You never learn until you break it, give it a try. I mean, I might, just because I know what YouTube's trying to do, and I'm just like curious if it's going to work or not. John McConsole, you're saying 15 million sales between PlayStation Portal and Vita, their last two handhelds. They need PSP numbers. It was around 80 million lifetime sales, but it had dedicated games. Yeah, that's why I think that it's much more likely they're just going to count a PlayStation handheld as a PS6 sale. At least that's my... Well, that would imply mandating developers to actually make handheld versions, where it's like it's gotta run on the handheld. Every PS6 game, that is. Maybe they will do that, but I don't know, maybe not. But you're not wrong. I mean, for as good as the Portal's doing, I don't know how the PSP hit 80 million, dude. That was kind of crazy. I don't know if Sony will ever see that type of success again in the handheld space. And Rich says, I better see 200 likes. I can't catch this mouse, so you unlikers get the brunt of my wrath. New Soul 9, you're saying, MBG, why don't you have voice mode on your comment section? You mean like text to speech? And when you say for my comment section, wait, are you talking about something else, New Soul? Are you talking about being able to leave voice replies in the comment section? Because I know that that's a feature, and I don't have that on my channel. They'll make them work through cloud. I mean, yeah, they can do that, but I don't know if they could sell it as a PS6. Like, I don't know. It's like, could Sony call the PlayStation Portal a PS5 Portal? Because it's like, well, you can technically access all PS5 games through the cloud. Maybe? All right, here we go. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to try it out. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see. Guys, if I break this stream, somebody's going to have to drop 20 member gifts to make up for lost time. For real. Let's see. I don't know. It shouldn't break. It shouldn't break. It might not even work. I'm going to use the default overlay. Save. Oh, fuck. Okay, hold on. I think I just broke something. Hold on. Use this URL to add the overlay into your encoder. Copy this URL into your encoder. Add a browser source. Paste URL. Okay, what is all this? Before going live, test the overlay by navigating to a stream dashboard and clicking start break. I don't think anything even happened. Apparently there's a bunch of stuff I got to do. Never mind. There's like 6 different steps to it. I don't even know what the hell they're asking me to do. New Soul, you're saying, yes, I can do that on my channel. How? Dude, I would love to add voice comments. You know what I'd be saying to people up in those comments section? Oh my God. My comment section would become the most entertaining comment section ever. Or maybe I'd get in trouble. I don't know. I'd be cursing my, my commenters out. I don't have that feature, and I don't even know where. Like, see, that doesn't make. How would you have it on your channel, but I don't have it on mine? And we also have a direct donation from Wallroar. He says the PlayStation handheld would be very lucrative. The ROG is constantly sold out. People really like handhelds. I mean, if they, yeah, I guess it's just a matter of like having to compare a PlayStation handheld to current, a new PlayStation handheld to current handhelds. And like, what's the expectation here? Like, I don't think this upcoming PlayStation handheld can be compared to, I don't think it can be compared to the PSP because I don't know that it's possible. It's like if it could sell 10 million, I think Sony would be like over the moon to be like, hell yeah, that's amazing. But I don't, yeah. I mean, there is demand to a degree. Well, you guys are saying do it, don't do it. You can't stream every game, MBG, but you can remote play everything you own. We have a direct donation from a $20 direct donation. Thank you for that. From I Am Rich Rod for show. Faux show. Damn, Rich. You rich? Thanks, man. Says MBG, this stream is the shizzle Jafeel fam real rep. That's definitely how Rich Rod talks. That's clearly the real Rich Rod. And he's talking. He's talking his talk, bro. I don't know. It might be. Rich is here. He is here. So I don't know. Well, Rich, assuming that's really you, thank you for the $20 direct donation, man. He says, yes, it was me. Well, thank you, Rich Rod. You went from the $2 donations to 20. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so what do I need to do? Let me see. What do I need to do to hit a higher member goal today? Because I'm not gonna lie, guys. I got how many days left? We got today. Oh shit. Okay, we got less time than I thought. Today, Monday, and Tuesday. I missed 10 days this month. Pretty bad. I did not realize how many days I missed streaming this month. What can I offer you? What can we do within reason, damn it, to hit a higher member goal today before we wrap up? Well, we got time. We're only 2.5 hours in. Sounds like text to talk. Dude, I've been wondering if I should do TTS for my super chats again. I don't know if people like that, though. I do it for the direct donations, but it would kind of be nice to do it for the super chats. Get a delivery job on the side. Well, I could, but then, well, I guess I could stream while delivering. Wait, I think there are rules against that. A delivery job? I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm trying to do Death Stranding in real life. Listen, I don't have any qualifications. All right? I'll probably fuck that up, too. I mean, to be fair, that is reasonable. You just said I'll become a member if you make a stream for 2 hours playing with your cats. That is reasonable. Like, that can be done. But, dude, I wanted to film. I was trying to film Clark earlier, and I wanted to put it in the Discord because, dude, he's been jumping on my chair and kicking himself. He's been kicking himself and like biting his own feet. Like, he's attacking himself. I'm like, bro, how brain damaged are you? It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. If I see him do it again, I'll film it. Angry Whale Watcher becomes a member. Angry Whale Watcher, thank you so much for that, man. That brings us to 8 on the day. Angry Whale Watcher's like, I'll
appreciate it.
Thank you. Should we go back? I don't know. Should we? I told you guys I was going to do like a pre-recorded thing. I scrapped that because I'm like, that's not going to work. Under no circumstances is that going to work. I don't know why I thought in my mind that would work. Should we go back to the member drop thing? I don't know. I'm just not sure what to do for members content. You want a signed white paper, 11 by 5 by 8.5. That's extremely specific, Michael. Like, that's doable, I believe, but why are the measurements so specific? You're freaking me out. He's going to frame it. That's why. Obviously, that's why you're going to frame it. And Schmidt GT comes in. Schmidt GT renews their membership as well, bringing us up to 9. We can have a membership renewal train. That'd be a little bit different. Thank you, Schmidt. I appreciate that, man. I'll give you a little scream there. Delivery jobs can ban you while doing multiple gigs at once. Well, I mean, we're okay. Like, I'm within range. It's just that it's weird because this month, well, honestly, this month felt really weird because at the beginning of the month, I told you guys, like, you know, my father-in-law was going to be redoing the basement and doing a lot of work. And, you know, his schedule was a little bit, it was pretty consistent, but there would be on days and off days. And I thought for some reason, I don't know why I thought this, that like, oh yeah, I'll just be able to stream while the work is happening, you know, because I'm like right next to it. And I just realized that like, dude, that's not, like, it's not going to work. And so my schedule was kind of all over the place. And there were just so many days that I just was like, oh, okay, I won't stream today and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then like, here we are at the end of the month. And I was looking back, I'm like, something seems a little bit off this month. Something seems different. And I'm like, I know I took some time off, but how much did I take? And I calculated, I'm like, holy shit, I took 10 days off? Like, what? I guess it didn't feel like that because some of those days I was helping work in the basement and stuff, and it just, yeah, it's weird. Oh, this month has been weird. And MVP Moss comes in. MVP Moss says, I'm going to renew my membership. That's 3 membership renewals in a row. That brings us to 10. Thank you, man. Yeah, thank you guys who are renewing your memberships. For those who are paying for your membership each month, I really do appreciate that. You know, it's stuff, you know, super chats, like I say, and direct donations, all this stuff, it pans out. It all contributes to the channel, essentially. I mean, when you do direct donations, YouTube doesn't take a cut of that, but it all contributes, right? And it all comes together at the end. But I also just want to make sure to give a special shout out to those who are recurring members, you know, who are paying each month, because you're basically just saying, what you're basically telling me is, I feel like your content is worth $5 a month. And that means a lot. I appreciate that. You know, I do what I can here. I crash out a lot. I'm sorry. It's what I do. You got to tighten your belt, saving. Oh, I see how it is, Titus. You're going to punish me for that $1,000 PS6. I see how it is. Well, I mean, no, I understand. Morning with the Misses and non-video game streams for member content. Anything goes. Music, movies, politics, conspiracy theories, life, etc. Yeah, I mean, that would basically be going back to the way I did it before. And I think I'm just torn on it because I don't know if it's just a coincidence, but basically ever since I stopped doing members content to test to see, like, has it helped my channel in terms of like viewership and viewer retention and all that stuff, because that's why I decided to experiment with it, because everything I was reading, most of what I was reading, was saying like, yeah, it's very risky to do members content, and especially if you do it a lot, it's considered risky on the channel. I can't deny that, like, dude, all of my arrows are in the green now, like all of them. Like, viewership has went up. We're getting more subscribers. The viewer retention is higher, and I'm like, like it's weird because it feels like I am almost getting the feedback that doing members content was hurting like all of your metrics on YouTube, which I guess kind of makes sense, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I could at least bring back Morning with the Misses. I did tell you guys I'm going to open a P.O. box soon. We will do that. And when we open the P.O. box, maybe like once every couple of weeks, we'll do like a special, Morning with the Misses episode or something. And Michael Membership Werneth comes in. He drops the 20 on you guys. He's like, damn, MBG. Damn. I got to buy 10 PS. I can only buy 9 PlayStation 6s now. I'm sorry, Michael. I'm sorry I did this to you. But Michael comes in, he drops 20 member gifts on you guys.
Holy shit.
And, yeah, that crushes the goal, man. That crushes the goal. That just brought us up to 30 members. Thank you for helping out, Michael. I really do appreciate it, bro. You've been a big support to the channel. And thank you to everybody who renewed your membership. You're telling me not a single cat is near me? I can't let Rich outdo me. Yeah, I'm waiting for the day Rich drops 20 member gifts. Yeah. No, but he's been trying. Rich, I don't know. I don't know. I would like to calculate the $2 donations. What are they? MBG's Mailbox Mondays. That's interesting. Mailbox Mondays. Dude, I'm dreading the P.O. box. I'm like not, but I am at the same time. John McConsor, you're saying MBG should check out London Eats, 340K subs. He records deliveries, works as an electrical engineer as a day job, and YouTube on the side. May get ideas. That's a lot, dude. That's a lot. Dude, I see people who do stuff like that. I'm like, how? I don't like, maybe I'm just stupid or something, or I don't know, like I'm just not built that way, but that sounds like totally overwhelming. Like, how do people juggle like doing you? I'm assuming if it's high quality YouTube content, but it's like a side thing, it's like that's impressive. I don't know, man. I was watching a couple videos on YouTube the other day of like people who film themselves traveling to like these crazy places around the world and like climbing mountains and shit. And I'm like, I don't know how people do it. Like, I really don't. I'm like, that's awesome, to be able to do that and to just record it and make it a thing. But I'm like, I don't know. But maybe they didn't know either. They just went for it. I don't know. I'm not nearly as adventurous, man. I'll climb mountains in Death Stranding, That's about it. It's about all I got in me. But no, I do appreciate the support you guys show. It means a lot. I'm glad to be able to to continue to run the channel. I'm just still trying to think of like what the best direction to go in is. And we have Paul Ganell. He comes in and he looks like he upgraded his membership to Play Has No Limits. So he said, look, I can't renew because I already did, but he's going to upgrade. So I'll add that to the counter as well. Paul, thank you so much for that, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That brings us to 31. Yeah, we'll see where the P.O. box takes us next, because I know that Whiskey Gaming, I don't know if he's here right now, but he's making something that he wants to send over in the P.O. box. And I know people have been telling me they want to send a bunch of stuff. So help me God, if one of you guys, do not send me an Xbox. I'm warning you now. I'm warning you right now. You send me an Xbox, that shit's getting smashed live. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. If somebody were to actually send an Xbox, I'd be very flattered. And I would thank them. And then I would smash it. Off camera. On my own time. Can't wait for the P.O. box. Michael, I'm scared. Dude, I'm a little bit worried about Hold on. I'm worried about how many, because people have talked about sending like cat treats and stuff. And I'm like worried that it's going to be so bad for Boss, man. Maybe all my cats. I already feed them too many treats. But we could try. Yeah, we'll see what happens. You're going to send me a Project Helix? I wouldn't smash that. That would get the special treatment. I'm going to run that over in the middle of the street. The lawnmower. No. Dude, does somebody ever... Hold on. I'm just hearing things. Never mind. Let me see. I think I missed something. Schmidt, you're saying you don't recommend delivery. What protein can I add to black coffee? Oh, I don't know. I'm sure there's something. But like I'm not sure what would mix well with it. Well, I mean, if you're drinking like hot black coffee, truthfully, you could probably mix any protein powder, but I don't know how it's going to taste. I don't know if it'll like ruin your coffee, the consistency of it. No, do not. Quiet 808s. Do not. If somebody sends that shit, no. That's what I'm afraid of. Can I use actual whey protein? I mean, you can try. You can try if you want. But again, I don't know. I've never tried that. I've never mixed protein with my coffee. I mean, like, if you get like a well mixing vanilla protein powder, it could probably taste pretty good. It'll thicken the coffee up, that's for sure, though. I usually, when I take my protein shakes, I usually take it with milk. Sometimes I get weird with it, and I'll just do like half milk, half flavored seltzer water, which I guess isn't that weird, but that's usually what I do. I don't even use a shaker either. I just put it in a cup and mix it with a spoon. Although I do miss using a shaker. Yeah, Rich, you're trying to get buff, huh? Remember when people were puffing vape smoke into the Series X to make it look like they were smoking, and Xbox had to reuse a statement telling people not to do that, or release a statement telling people not to do that? I do remember that. That was weird. Yeah, people were doing some strange things at the beginning of this console generation. Wait, Schmidt, you're saying my ass will explode? Wait, what's that in response to? Protein in hot coffee does not dissolve the best. You need something like creatine. Protein's for shakes only. Yeah, maybe. See, I don't know if you want to add creatine to your coffee, though, either, because creatine, you're supposed to drink a lot of water with it. It pulls water into your muscles. And when, coffee is a diuretic. This is MBG says she made iced coffee and put Nuri vanilla protein shake in it. Whiskey says milk, Greek yogurt in my Ninja blender with my stack. What's your stack, Whiskey Gaming? You're getting buffed to fight the mice. I mean, whatever motivation you need, Rich. Which protein brand do I use? I use Animal. You said you bought the Animal creatine. I use their protein too. I just got their cookies and cream, and I like it. It's not flashy. It's 25 grams of protein per scoop. And the biggest reason I stick with this brand of protein is because it doesn't bother my stomach. I've had a lot of different protein brands, and it's always kind of been hit or miss. And this was the first one that I use where I'm like, and I think they put a couple of digestive enzymes in it, I think, which helps. So, you know, I stuck with it. Iced Irish coffee, creatine, glutamine, and taurine. Best stack. A supplement that I want to buy soon, like when I start to get much more serious and into my workout routine, is it's a supplement called Animal Pump. It's all about getting like a better pump when working out, but it doesn't have any stimulants in it. Muscle Tech protein powder, HMB, creatine, and ZMA before bed. How's the ZMA? Here, boss. Last one. I'm only giving you a few more. I'm only giving you a few more since Michael dropped 20 gifts for us, all right? You can thank Michael for that. Careful, boss. Jeez. Yeah, I've heard about ZMA, and I heard it helps with like muscle recovery and stuff, but I don't think I've ever taken it before. Rich the Mouse Slayer. I read if you mix a little bit of water with the whey protein, it will blend well with the coffee. That might work. I mean, experiment with it, you know? See what works for you. You'll know really quickly what doesn't work. I'll tell you that. You mix BCAA or BCAs. Is it BCAAs? Branch chain amino acids, I think is what it is, right? Into my pre-workout since I work out early in the morning on an empty stomach. Yeah, it's interesting. That I took branch chain amino acids for a little while years ago when I kind of had I wasn't working out early in the morning, but I had a similar situation where I would go like kind of an extended period of time without eating in the middle of the day. And my workout sessions, I mean, at that time, I was like working out for 3 hours at a time, which was crazy. So I started taking BCAAs to kind of, prevent too much muscle breakdown. But these days, I don't know. I heard training fasted is kind of good though for you too. Like your body has natural mechanisms to help protect against muscle breakdown. But yeah, sometimes taking these supplements can really be a difference maker, depending on what your goals are, of course. You got the animal creatine with HMB. You got the animal pump, the one with the stim also. I'm doing half and half so I don't get all the caffeine. That's the big thing for me, man, is like I already drink like 2.5 to 3 cups of coffee a day, which for me is a lot, and I've taken stuff in the past that it's like, okay, yeah, I'm not sleeping now. I'm getting the jitters. I hate that, dude. Like when I was in my early 20s, I was taking all different types of pre-workouts and I was just like having panic attacks, I mean, I had a lot of shit going on in my life too, but I was just like overstimmed, literally. Like and that was on top of drinking coffee. So I'm like really nervous about anything with stimulants in it where I'm like, I think HMB is for muscle recovery. It's supposed to help your muscles recover fast, help you like in general, just recover quicker from like a really intense workout. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, when it comes to supplementation, man, God, there's too much out there. I would recommend to anybody, boss, you gonna go eat your treats or what, man? They're right here. I would recommend to anybody who's who's trying to get into working out and putting on muscle. Just be careful with supplements only because there's so much out there. You want to make sure you're doing your research. You want to make sure you're well informed about the different brands. There's all different quality levels. Most of this, pretty much all this stuff in the supplement industry is not backed by the FDA, although a lot of people believe the FDA is completely corrupt, so it doesn't even matter anyway. You got to be careful with proprietary blends. This is why, like, thoroughly looking into user reviews for supplements, I think is a good idea as well. Um, I try to keep it simple. I mean, my stack, so to speak, all it is for now is just fish oil, um, whey protein, and creatine. And that's basically it. Because I feel like, again, the only thing I feel like I want to add to my stack is something to help get a better pump ultimately, But I'm so out of shape right now. I really need to just, my main priority is just to get into an actual, and it's not even a routine. I just need to really get back to a point where I'm better conditioned because I don't know, I've let myself go pretty much. Like I still have muscle mass, and I don't look that bad. It's not even about looks, but it's just when I work out, I can tell like, man, I've lost a lot. And now that this area, I know you guys can't see this area next to me, but I'm really going to try to build a better home gym now. I want to buy like some better equipment. I want to buy like an Olympic bar, maybe an Olympic bench, stuff like that, and really try to make it so it's like, okay, I can start doing more now. Motivate me to actually want to work out more. You're at the gym right now. Your favorite supplement is beer. You see the animal protein is isolate and concentrate blend. If I also want to lose weight, I should stick with isolate, right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, generally speaking, you want to just basically get the protein with minimal fat and minimal carbs. I mean, some people do just like straight up whey protein. That's like not an isolate, and that's fine too if you're trying. I think that's probably a good way to go if you're really trying to bulk. But they make like mass gainers and stuff, and I don't know. I never did the mass gainers. I couldn't. I just like to me. I just felt like if your goal is to gain weight, just try to eat more. It can be difficult for some people. That's why they use mass gainers because some people's metabolisms are so good. It doesn't matter how much you eat, you're not putting on weight. But chances are, if you're not putting on weight, it's because your body is just it's where you are is where you're naturally meant to be. You just use protein powder and creatine. I'm looks maxing, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Do a 36-hour fast and reset your body. I thought about that. Dude, I am not good at fasting. I usually do intermittent fasting, though. Although, arguably, I break my fast when I drink my coffee because I have a little bit of creamer. But generally speaking, like, I think my worst habit is I eat late at night. I eat like I eat basically like a second dinner at like late at night, like at 9 p.m., 9:30. It's amazing I'm not obese. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like it's amazing I'm not obese. But that's like by far my worst habit. But I don't eat in the morning. I don't eat anything in the morning usually. Like sometimes I do, but generally I don't eat till like around noon, like usually like right before I go live and stream. But I do think sometimes drinking my coffee breaks my fast. Is creatine worth it? Doesn't it just hold water weight? I mean, creatine to me, if it really does everything it says it does, it's more than worth it. I think out of all supplements that you could take, creatine might be the best or like one of the best because it's not just about gaining muscle, right? Like it literally does make you stronger when your muscles are saturated with it. So you can squeeze out a few more reps and that in turn leads to seeing better results. It helps with recovery, but it also helps with your cognitive function. There have been studies that have shown, and it's not, you got to be careful with this because it's not like a replacement per se or a guarantee, but there have been studies that have shown that adequate creatine supplementation can be just as effective in helping people with depression as antidepressants. And it also just it's really good for your brain. So and yeah, creatine is in food. Like for example, if you eat if you eat like an 8 or 9 ounce steak, you're probably getting close to like anywhere between 2.5 and 5 grams of creatine in that steak, give or take. So you do get creatine from food. It's not like it's just only obtainable in supplement form. New Soul, you're saying I just eat food because it's delicious. I mean, yeah, it's hard, man. Like that's where I am in my life, where I keep telling myself I'm going to eat better and eat healthier and get on like a better diet, but yeah, I'm at the mercy of just whatever tastes good, man. I'm ready. The key to a creatine regimen is drink about a gallon of water a day to avoid water bloating. Counterintuitive, but drinking excess amounts of water reduces bloating because your body won't hold on to water. Yeah, I mean, I would say like you just have to kind of I think every person's body responds a little bit differently. You have to kind of figure out where sweet spot is. Um, for me, I've noticed that when I take creatine, I don't need to drink as much water as I thought I did. Um, and that's something I've learned after years. Where like when I was younger and I would take creatine, I would go way too crazy and drink way too much water, and I'm like peeing all the time, it's like to an annoying degree where I'm like, this is ridiculous. Um, but I was always afraid if I didn't do that, the creatine wouldn't work or it would be bad or something bad would happen or wouldn't be as effective. But, over the years I found that no, drinking, I mean, I don't know, like drinking, I don't know how many ounces. It's definitely not a gallon for me, but it seems to work just as well for me, where I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I am bloating. I don't know. I could be. Maybe you guys would know. Like, MBG, you're looking kind of puffy today, bro. But I don't know. I definitely, I gotta lose some body fat. Not a lot. I don't mind having some body fat, but it's when you start to get I forget the name of the fat, but the fat that really starts to grow around your organs. That's when it can be kind of dangerous, and that's a sign that like, okay, you're becoming pretty unhealthy at that point. Pre-workout with beta alanine made me scratch my face off. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. Yeah, I've heard of autophagy. The biggest benefit of fasting. Yeah, your cells basically cleanse themselves. That's why I try to do intermittent fasting, where you can get the benefit of autophagy, but maybe not like as extreme as, doing a 2 or 3 day fast where you're going to get an extreme benefit. But you have to do something kind of intense to achieve it. It's kind of like a slow burn over time where you're kind of giving your cells a window each day. Visceral fat. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. You'll stick to Diana Ball. Watch your liver, bro. Yeah, dude, I almost looked into that when I was serious about, at one point I was like, I want to I want to juice up, I want to get massive. And, there's like a person at the gym that I knew and I was thinking about asking him, but I was like, nah, I was like, don't do it, man. Don't go down that road. I think for a lot of people, like once they start, once you go down that road, you kind of probably have to stick with it for the rest of your life. And it can create a host of problems. Oh my God. I weigh 463. My only regret is that I haven't seen my little guy in years. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I don't quite know what to say. You fast about 16 hours every day, except for your protein shake after your workout. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, and then you smoke the meat, get all your protein, and I don't eat breakfast. Dinner at 6 p.m., lunch at 12 the next day. So you give yourself about a 6-7 hour window, it seems. Did you see one of Epic's layoffs is someone with terminal brain cancer who now can't get insurance? But I guess, does he really need it now anyway? I'll tell you, man. Life is very strange. I don't understand. I was just watching a video today about how, like, space and time seem to be an illusion based on what we're learning about quantum physics now. And I'm like, I already knew that. I already knew it. Like, dude, it must be. It's all got to be an illusion, you know? It's all got to be an illusion. Like, just remember, guys, time doesn't exist for photons. Think about that. Time does not exist for photons. If they're in the US, I'm pretty sure they get Cobra for 24 months. No. Well, yeah, I don't know what the hell Epic Games did when it comes to how much they hired for Fortnite. And, you know, how much they were spending. I mean, I know, like, they were doing all these collabs, obviously, all these events. It sounds like they overspent, man, like, by a lot. Is that true? Dude, I can't even tell if you're trolling right now. You're saying that's crazy, Quiet. Yeah, that's crazy. Apparently, our universe is inside of a supermassive black hole. Our whole universe is inside of a supermassive black hole. Do I think we live in a simulation? Yeah, to a degree. You know, they say if God is real, God is a mathematician. I mean, we're learning more and more, you know. It just seems like every time we have some kind of breakthrough, it leads to more questions than answers. But quantum physics has really been fascinating me these days because that seems to be where the greatest breakthroughs of all, you know, will lie. But it does seem like a problem is there's just certain things that are not, we can't test it, you know. It's kind of like no different than if we look out into space and it's like, oh my God, there's all these crazy things like black holes and whatnot, but it's like we'll never, you know, we'll never be able to see it or be anywhere near it, you know. It's just we can just, I guess, look at it and make assumptions and theorize. Time is nothing but a construct that changes depending on a lot of variables. Yeah, Mrs. MBG walked away, then came back, and I'm talking about quantum physics. She's like, I'm out. We can't even get along on this planet. Cooked. Michael, you're heading out, man. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, and thank you for the support today, bro. I really do appreciate it. Well, you know, we should be back here hopefully tomorrow. You know, I'll try my best to keep up with the content, and you know, April should be more consistent, hopefully. But enjoy the rest of your day, man. I'm probably gonna be wrapping up here soon too. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just find this stuff interesting because it's like we don't, like, we can't really define reality. No matter how much we believe we can, even when we like bring it down to the molecular level, there's just it we're discovering like there's still more layers to all these things around us that it's like where does it all go and what does it all mean? New Soul, you're saying time in general doesn't nor ever exist in the first place because we humans created it just to navigate in the galaxy, same as mathematics. Well, I mean, that's what's weird, man, is like, I don't know. It like New Soul, it's like when we talk about, I came across the term light day the other day. Like one light day. And I'm like, that's interesting. I've always heard light year. You know? Yeah, quantum entanglement. There you go. Yeah, that, Nick, that's what I've been looking into. And it's like, it turns out that our entire universe just might be one giant quantum entanglement. What that means, fuck if I know. Nobody knows. John McConsole, you're saying Fortnite averages concurrent March 2025, 1.3 million players, now 900K. But that's like crazy good, is it not? That's a lot of players. Like, should that not be enough to sustain what they're trying to do there? I don't get it, man. Tomorrow, late morning, going to check out Project Hail Mary and IMAX. Heard a lot of good things. Yeah, let me know what you think of it, Dwayne. I've heard really good things about it. I want to see that movie. So I don't believe in souls. Well, I mean, I feel like I do. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, like, I believe, like, I guess I kind of have this belief that whenever we pass, right? I mean, who know? I don't know what happens. I don't have details for you guys. No, I don't think anybody really does. Maybe if you look into like near death experiences and stuff. But I think it's just kind of like, it wouldn't surprise me if it's like you're waking up. I don't know if that makes sense. Where it's like, oh, like, right. Like that wasn't actually real. This is real now. I don't know if that makes sense. We get turned into diamonds. I mean, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's just, you know, I think it's hard. Demon or, yeah, are we talking about demon souls or dark souls? It's crazy though. If you look into the lore of demon souls and dark souls, it like touches on all this shit. I guess I just mean it's like, I don't know. Like when you go to bed at night and you're sleeping and you're dreaming, but you don't know you're in a dream. In that moment, whatever your consciousness, if we can even call it that, I mean, I guess to a degree, it must be some level of consciousness. Whatever that is just as real as whatever this is right now. You know, and this is just where I feel like one of the more philosophical and potentially religious, depending on which religion you're looking at, aspects of existence, you know, here on planet Earth that fascinates me is this idea of like there is no I. Like there is no me, there is no I. That is the grand illusion. It's like right now I'm an individual person. I have my likes, I have my traits, I have everything that defines me and makes me me, just like you have what makes you you. And the idea of like when you are done here, that is completely stripped away. And it's as not to say that it's just nothing, but it's that you actually are going back to something far beyond an isolated concept of I and me. It's something much greater. What that could be, I don't know. You know, I mean, there's some people that believe we have a higher self. I don't know if any of you guys believe in that. I'm not saying I believe in that 100%, but the idea of a higher self is simply that there is a version of you, like a spiritual version of you that exists in a higher dimension, in a higher plane that is tethered to this version of you. And is that true? Is that real? I don't know. Is this why we have so many references to, you know, trying to ascend and go higher, you know, Creed, take me higher, right? I mean, what are we doing here? All right. But who is the dreamer? Asking real questions here. I don't know, man. I've had dreams and experiences that, and just to be clear, I've never taken like psychedelics or anything like that. That I'm like certain. I was like, okay, that wasn't just a dream. I don't know what the hell that was, but I'm pretty sure we already talked about this, but we're pretty sure the astral plane's real. Um, I saw something the other day. It's like, look, did the CIA confirm the astral plane is real? Oh, okay. It says no, the CIA did not scientifically confirm the astral plane is real. Declassified documents, specifically the 1983 analysis and assessment of gateway process, investigated whether consciousness could transcend space-time. While the report explored out-of-body experiences and remote viewing, it was a theoretical analysis of potential, not validation of a physical supernatural reality. Is astral projection considered fiction, or is there some research done that's been credible? See, I'm reading this on Reddit, bro. Reddit, God, man, it's so, some of it's just so negative. This person says completely fictional if you mean your spirit or soul leaving your body and traveling around. There is no support that a soul or other form exists within the human body. Science says you are your body and brain, and the brain can't leave your body and still be alive. So no. Although they say, that said, the subjective experience itself is real, just like how people with sleep paralysis experience being abducted by aliens or having vampires attack them. The experience is real for them, but the objective reality is people aren't leaving their body and people aren't being abducted by aliens. Out-of-body experiences can be induced in a lab setting. It is an interference with proprioception and our sense of self-location. There is some pretty solid research supporting a neurological and physiological mechanism to the experience. But see, I always push a little bit further than that. You know? Reddit is always known for the truth. I always push a little bit further than that, where I'm like, but why do we believe, like, when for every living human being, that's conscious right now on the planet, why do we believe this is real? You get what I'm saying? Like, I understand to a certain degree. It's like we have to rationalize it. It's like, well, we gotta define things here, right now my microphone is real. This is real. I'm real. I'm existing in reality right now. There's a certain, like, if I were to punch my wall right now, it's going to hurt. That's real. That's all real. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I just think it's fascinating how there's a fundamental crossroads that it's seemingly there will never be an answer, where it's like you can't. It always comes down to the same thing. It's a matter of belief. Do you believe that this reality you experience is just electrical signals from your brain, nothing more, nothing less? And that once those electrical signals cease to happen, what is real, your reality, ceases to exist. And that's all there is. You can choose to believe that, but if anything, that's just as arrogant. If you want to use the word arrogant, I'm throwing that word around loosely, but that's just as bold, I should say, as choosing to believe, no, there is something more, because neither one can be proven. And to me, that alone is what makes, at least for me, that's what makes it be like, okay, something weird's going on here. You know what I mean? Like, that's what, yeah, like red pill or blue pill. I think, therefore I am. To me, it's the fact that how can we seemingly know so much and have so many answers, but also still not be able to answer the most important questions with any level of definitive? It's just totally like, whatever you want to believe, man. No one can tell you, because no one can prove anything that actually matters in the bigger picture of it all. That, to me, is it, like, that says something. And I hate to say it, but I've looked into Gnosticism, and I don't know if I believe it 100%, but if you're interested in looking at, like, different types of religions and spiritual beliefs, Gnosticism always fascinated me, because the idea of Gnosticism is that no, like, listen, bro, it's not that serious. You're literally in like a prison. You are in a physical prison. And so it's like, well, who put me here? Well, it depends on how deep you want to look into it, but there's like this deity, a false god, if you will. He's kind of an a-hole, you know? Maybe he's not even an a-hole. He's imperfect. This is the best he could do. And he brought you here. And you can leave whenever you want. You can't be kept here. You can leave whenever you want. And that concept fascinates me so deeply because it's like the whole idea around Gnosticism is that if you believe in Jesus, which a lot of people don't, a lot of people do, we can't agree. We can't agree on plastic boxes, and you think we should have all the answers of the universe. Yeah, exactly. We can't agree on shit, bro. We could, you know what? That's the irony. We could have the answers. We still wouldn't agree. Like, dude, an alien could come down from space and tell us, we made you. Here's the proof. And people would still be like, nah. No, you didn't. And that's true too. You know, it's the stubbornness of man, right? But it's like, I don't know how many people believe in Jesus, how many people don't. I just know that it's always been a popular topic. What I find fascinating about Gnosticism is it basically says that Jesus was trying to convey a very simple message. And the message he was trying to convey is simply this. All you have to do is remember that you are actually divine. Like you have a divine spark within you and it's trapped here purposely. Like you've actually been coerced to come here to be trapped. You are literally in a spiritual prison. And all that's required, you don't have to like fight your way out. You don't have to do any kind of special trick. There's nothing you have to do other than just remember that you are that. And you are, so basically when you pass away, like you are free to go where you want. You are free to go back to your source, you know, to escape this physical world, this universe made of matter. Essentially, Gnosticism says the universe we exist in is made of matter, and matter is imperfect. Matter is chaotic. And that's not what we call the soul. That's not where we come from. We were not made, our souls were not made of matter. And that's why we feel that's why there's so much conflict, you know? That's why things are the way they are. I don't know. You look into it. I'm not going to do a whole lesson here on what Gnosticism is. You know, I'm not the person that should be teaching anything like that or talking about it. There's a lot you can look into, but I just find that notion fascinating where it's like you don't actually need to believe in any one thing. You just have to understand that you have a you know, a divine spirit or something, whatever you want to call it, and you can leave at any time. You know, like you are free to go to nothing can hold you. And I like that because it's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. You know, like that does make a lot of sense to me. Where it's like, it's why I was saying out loud yesterday, who are you? Who are you to have domain over me? You know? But then it gets crazy. It's like, I am you. John McConsler saying AI invented us to create AI, completing the circle. Bro, well, I mean, that kind of goes into simulation theory, right? So many people believe that we are in a simulation. And the question at that point is, okay, if we are in a simulation, then what do we wake up to? Shit, man. Like, could you wake up as, I don't know, being part of a giant fucking supercomputer or something? And it's like, I don't know. That breaks my brain. The idea of we were created by AI to create AI, completing the circle. Yeah, that's I don't like the sound of that. That freaks me out. Fraser, you're saying, what size of TV do you game on? Right now, just 55 inches. I would like to upgrade to a 65-inch TV at some point, but 55 is good. Anyway, about Fortnite. Professor, what is my homework for the day? I know this was basically turned into a members lounge. I don't do the members lounges anymore, so these conversations have to find a place somewhere on the channel. Clark, you want some treats? Clark, those treats aren't even real. It's just a hologram. All you touch and all you see is all you will ever be. Pink Floyd. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting food for thought. You know, I think everybody's perception is different. You know, some people believe that we're here to learn something. You know, the one thing that I don't like about Gnosticism and why I don't fully accept it and I don't believe it completely, or at least, you know, I'm still like unsure of it, just like all other religions and beliefs, is I don't like the idea that it's like a negative, you know, where it's like, yeah, that's right, Earth is bad and you're trapped. The good news is you can leave whenever you want, you know, but you've been tricked. You've been duped. You've been convinced. I've talked about this before, but it's like there's this notion that reincarnation is real and it's a trap. And I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Like, that is crazy to me. But imagine this. Imagine, you know, you pass away and you see the light. Where's Gaming Survivor when you need him, bro? You see the light and, you know, you see your past family members calling to you and you go to the light and it feels amazing. And you're like, oh my God, like, what is this? This must be heaven or something. And it feels great. But then you're convinced. They convince you. They tell you all the answers, but you need to reincarnate. And it's like, why? It's like, because you still have so much to learn and so much to do. You know, you have bad karma or whatever you know, however it would be worded. And then you're basically tricked to come back to Earth again. And the cycle repeats. And the idea is that you actually don't have to reincarnate. You don't have to come back to Earth. Again, you are free to explore all the dimensions and everything that exists, I guess, at your will, because you are part of the divine or whatever. I don't know, bro. Do I look like I have the answers to anything? Just food for thought. You know, you make of that what you will. My dad thinks this is a simulation we're in to distract ourselves from the horrors of reality. Oh my God. I mean, so that's fascinating. I think the reason why I disagree with that is only because there's already too many horrors in this. Like, I feel like a simulation wouldn't have, it would feel much better than this. You know what I mean? Like, things would be a lot better. Hold on, I think we got a direct donation here. Oh shit, hold on, wait. Rich Rod says, laugh now, but when the trumpets sound and the Wi-Fi is gone, you'll wish you spent less time on memes and more time finding Jesus. Don't be a butterscotch. We got religious Rich Rod up in here, bro. I mean, yeah, Jesus is fascinating to me. Very, very fascinating. Been a very prevalent part of my life. But I don't know. Sometimes I think the message is supposed to be much simpler. And we've done what human beings are very good at doing, is overcomplicating things. You know? We're good at that, overcomplicating. Luxspace, you're saying one day I switched reality while conscious. I do believe we are in a prison. Our goal is to evolve. The world makes no sense. I do not think you can simply leave. You will come back to the suffering. Well, that's it. I mean, yeah, there's kind of this belief as well, and this notion that, again, you have to pass certain tests that at a very high spiritual level and an incomprehensible level, we are meant to live many, many lifetimes to go through certain experiences, to learn certain things. And only until we do that can we move up, evolve, whatever you want to call it, you know, move to the next level. There's there's so many implications to that. That almost makes life sound like a video game, you know? And it's like, I don't know, people look for answers. Like, why is there so much suffering? Why is there so much bad stuff allowed to happen? And to an extent, it starts to make sense if you believe that I'm not saying I believe this, I'm just saying it is a perspective. It is just one of many. If you believe that everything that happens is literally meant to happen, for example, like, I don't know, I don't want to take it this far, but some people think like this. And I'm not saying I agree, I'm just saying it's an example. It's like if something bad happens to seemingly a good and innocent person, the idea is, oh no, don't worry. Their soul actually in a previous life did something very terrible, and this is how they're undoing that mistake, that negative karma. But there's like this idea that like you make contracts before you come here. And that also fascinates me, where it's like, okay, so you want to move to the next dimension or you want to ascend. That's great, man. But listen, here's all your save files. Here's all your past lives. You're still like negative 50 points karma wise. You got to undo it. You could do it over the course of like 3 lifetimes. You could do it once in a really horrible lifetime. But the idea is you like your soul, you make like a soul contract, like you agree to it. All the best people are in hell if that's the case. And I don't know. It's just, no one really knows. No one really knows. It's either that or deep down we all know. We're just distracted and blinded temporarily. I don't know. All I know is I don't know. No, I don't know what human lives many, but I know we have one life, MBG. Whatever it is you're high on, get help. I'm not high on anything, man. No, you might be right. You might be right, dude. We might just have one life and that's it. And that's, that would be the tragedy of the philosopher is like, bro, you only had one life and you spent like most of it just sitting there thinking about it, not living it. Can they do me a favor and just let it slide? I don't know. John McConsole, you're saying indentured servitude? Indentured servitude. What is it? What does that mean exactly? Indentured servitude was a labor system in the 17th and 18th century British America where individuals contracted to work for 4 to 7 years in exchange for a transatlantic passage. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, depending on, what you believe and what religions you look into, it's basically that. Like, you have to go through a certain level of, I don't know, I don't say nonsense, but you have to live a certain way. Like, from, I don't know, like Hinduism and Buddhism, there's kind of this idea of like each lifetime you live is an opportunity to accrue good karma. And when you accrue enough good karma, that's when you can, move up and level up spiritually, right? And get to another plane of existence where you're free from the material world, the universe made of matter. But the idea is, because somebody might ask the question, well, it's like, why, if that's true, like if any of that is true, why don't we know? Like, why are we born with a completely wiped memory and we're not allowed to know what it's like being thrown into a video game, not knowing what your objectives are and what even what's right and what's wrong. And that's where the whole idea is, it's meant to be completely genuine and pure, where that is the point. Like, you're not supposed to know what the answer is. You're supposed to operate purely from the deep intuition that exists from your soul, that emanates from your soul, and your life force. And that's fascinating to me because it's like, that actually kind of makes sense. What's the menu button? Yeah, right? Right? But that fascinates me because it's like, that kind of makes sense. We're like, yeah, I guess if the test is one that can only be passed through something it's not like learned, it's more something that's felt, something that's exhibited and experienced more naturally. Um, but that calls into question people who do terrible things, right? Uh, Depending on what religion you believe in, like if I think it's Hinduism. I'm not sure if it's Buddhism, but one of the two or both believe that you can actually be reincarnated into a lower life form. Like, if you fuck up bad enough, basically it's like you're coming back as a pig, bro. Or you're coming back as a fucking cockroach or something. You're going to be an amoeba in the sea. I don't know. I mean, to me that sounds insane. But it kind of almost makes sense, where it's like, yeah, I guess if you get the opportunity to live a life of a human being, which would be considered a higher life form, and you commit like atrocities against mankind, the idea that you're going all the way back down now, and you're gonna start from level 1, which is you're gonna be like a single cell fucking organism or some shit. I don't know. You're gonna be like a seahorse in the depths of the ocean, and then maybe if you're lucky, and but to me, that's I get messed up when I think about that, because I'm like, well, what does that mean? Does that mean that, like, my cats, right? Like, my cats, if I were to believe in this, it means there are souls inside of the 4 cats that I, live with. And there's a chance that any one of those souls could have previously been a human being that like, they fucked up bad enough where it's like, you're going back to a cat. You got to live a life of a cat now before you can try again as a human. I mean, how far does this extend? Because when I see a cat, right? A cat seems like I could believe that, like my cats seemingly make their own decisions with certain things, and they have some level of personality that it feels like I can pick up on. Whereas, like, yeah, I can believe that. But then it's like, what about that ant on the ground right there? What's that? Well, I mean, what is that? Like, inside of that ant, is there some kind of soul that used to be took the form of a human being, and they're like, this sucks, but I just got to keep living my life. You know what I'm saying? I know it sounds fucking silly and it sounds funny, but it's like, I don't know. I just, I just wonder, man. I just wonder if there is actually any truth to this shit. And if there is, why, just why? What does it all lead to? But I don't know. Sometimes I just think to myself, like, it is just that. You just have one life. And I don't know, we just so happen to have these brains that allow us to have these thoughts, but the thoughts don't actually add up to anything, and there is no rhyme or reason. But that kind of depresses me. I'm not going to lie. I don't like thinking like that, because it really does depress me. This whole conversation is why video games need to be banned worldwide. Basically, your cat could be Hitler. Yeah. Basically, your cat might be Hitler. There we go. That pretty much sums it up. How do you level up as a rat? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, but what messes me up too is, like, I come across these videos sometimes of animals. And so I saw this, it was a sad video, but it turned out to be a good video. I saw this video yesterday, and it's just stuff like this that catches, it like stops me in my tracks for a moment, where I'm like, what does this mean? Does this mean anything? Where, like, it was this video of a dog, like a puppy, whose, like, arms and legs were basically, like, broken, or like messed up. I don't know if they were born. I think they were born that way, and they were basically like paralyzed, and so they couldn't really move. But there was another dog, another puppy, that like refused to leave its side. So it was like trying to stay with it and kind of take care of it. And it wasn't like the dog's mother or anything like that. It was just another dog. And then, this family picked up they adopted that dog, and they took it, they rehabilitated it and everything. And eventually it got all of its movement back in its arms and legs. But it's stuff like that where it's like that doesn't, you've seen that one? Yeah. That's where I'm like, that something about that behavior. It seems like it goes beyond just animalistic instinctive behavior. What does that mean? I don't know. I'll probably just stop here because, like, bro, dude, I swear that people are gonna come to this podcast episode and gonna be like, "Damn, man, I can't wait to hear about all this video game talk." We talked video games for like two and a half hours, but I don't know. I just can't help but have these very, very maybe unnecessarily deep thoughts, and I just question it because I don't know, as I get older, I'm like, life is stranger than I expected it to be. I look back at my past self and I'm like, man, I really thought I knew anything, and I just see things differently now. And I think it's a very common thing. As you go through life, you experience many different things. You go through different motions, and it evokes a lot of thoughts, I think, that even sometimes you don't even realize you're kind of dwelling on. But nah, we're cooking. Unconditional love. Maybe that they say that might be the test. Yeah. And to end it on a more positive, mushy gushy note, they say that might be the test to overcome all. The way you overcome this material world and this universe made of matter is unconditional love for anything and everything. And that is how you pass the test. And I'm like, that's a good one. That's a hard one. That's why I'm inclined to believe it. That's really hard. I mean, it's like they say, love. It's like Jesus said, love thy enemy. Right? No, I see. That's what I mean. Like, no, I don't think he's in heaven. If any of this is true, he may have been reincarnated into like a dust mite, and he's got a long, long journey back to humanhood. All right, man, we are out here. We're cooking something. We're smoking. So, jeez. Anyway, guys, I think that's gonna do it. I always feel weird because it's like, sorry that the last like hour and a half of this podcast episode was basically an existential crisis, if not crisis, discussion about the meaning of life. I came in yelling, dude. This episodes like this are a fucking roller coaster ride, dude. Because the first hour, I'm like yelling, I'm like ranting. By the end of it, I'm literally out here being like, what if there's a human soul inside my cat, and they know me, bro, and I know them. Like, it's like, how did we get here? But I like to think it keeps it a little bit interesting. I don't know. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe people would just prefer, like, put this shit in the members lounges, man. But anyway, yeah, guys, I think that's going to wrap up today's stream. Thank you all so much for for hanging out with me, and especially if you hung out for the last hour where, we were just talking about non-gaming stuff. But I also want to make sure to give a big thank you to everybody who supported the channel directly, because, no matter how deeply I want to think, and no matter how far out there my mind goes, I still also live seemingly in the same reality that you guys do, where, yeah, I'm at the mercy of the physical material world. God, you know, it's like some days, man, I'm just like waiting. I'm just like waiting for that moment where it's like, okay, we're gonna interrupt the simulation now. Like you figured it out, bro. Okay. Anyway, thank you all so much. We hit 30 members. If you dropped any super chats, any direct donations, you guys are awesome. Can't do it without you, sincerely. And I also want to give a big shout out to Devil Shooter. He does the timestamps. If you guys see Devil Shooter in the comments with those timestamps, especially on streams like this where people are going to want to know in advance, like, what am I getting myself into? Thank you so much, Devil Shooter, for what you do. Make sure you guys show him some love, give him some thanks. I did put out a video earlier. You can check that out if you want. My hope is to be able to, you know, not miss nearly as much time as I did this month going into April, and you know, kind of get back just on a solid routine and schedule that you guys will be able to rely on. Bots, you hear that? MBG loves you, so take it easy on him. He's trying to get into heaven. To get into heaven, you must love Xbox equally. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Then you will continue to be reincarnated into a PlayStation fanboy until you pass the test. All right. Yeah, but guys, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or night. Try not to think too hard, you know. I'm going to get some gaming in. I didn't tell you guys this because I didn't want to talk about it yet because I haven't put enough time into it. Wow, I'm ridiculous. I am a clown. I really am a clown for waiting this long to tell you guys. Shame on me. I'll talk about it tomorrow and Tuesday. There are 2 games I'm playing right now. I did it. I bit the bullet. I decided to play Marathon. I'm not telling you what I think of it. Okay? And the reason I'm not telling you is because I've only played it for a few hours, and while I won't tell you what I think of it, what I will say is it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, and yes, I'll just say that. But I am playing with a friend, so if you guys see me out there, I don't know. I just want to say real quick, I encountered somebody. They were playing solo, and I think they knew me, and they were trying to signal to me like, "Don't shoot, man," and I just obliterated them. I kind of feel bad. But I'm also playing another game that I just bought. My physical copy of it just came in today. It's called Power Rangers Rita's Revenge or something. Do you guys know this game? It's like a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up. And I don't know what inspired me to pick this game up and play it. I want to play something a little bit different. I grew up, dude, my 3rd birthday party was Power Rangers, okay? I was the Red Ranger. So I'm enjoying that. But yeah, I'll talk with you guys more about these games. We will have video game discussions in upcoming streams. Longest outro ever. All right. That's it. Guys, I'm out. I will catch you in the next one. Until then, take care, everyone. Oh, man.